What's going on? I am Nando.
And I'm DJ.
And I'm Diggins.
And this is Mostly Nitpicking, podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture. Woohoo!
Woo! How do we do that, though?
Oh, well, what do I usually say?
By looking exclusively at the details.
Well, you guys, everybody here knows. Unless we're getting a lot of new Sonic stands or some video of mine or tweet has taken off to an extreme level, people might be like, hey, this podcast, it's so unspecific. I like it. It's freeform, baby.
If there's one thing Sonic isn't known for, it's a very large online following.
Yeah, right. Oh, man. How'd they feel about it? We'll get to it. Before that, we're going to talk a little bit about how everybody's doing, and then we're going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, and then after that, maybe we'll get to some Oscar stuff. Who knows? Last week we said we were going to, and we didn't, and I saw a really funny meme on the subreddit, so
it was pretty good.
Maybe we won't. We'll see where we are. We might be different people. We might be completely redesigned people. We may look different and more palatable. So then we'll be like, I got to spread this joy with the world. But DJ Diggins, how are you guys doing this fine day? We'll start with DJ.
I'd say we're doing pretty well. I am somewhat excited to talk about this movie, but we'll see where the conversation takes us.
Diggins?
I feel great, Nando. I'm flossing right now in anticipation.
Don't dare floss, you adults.
You're not allowed to
floss.
It's too late. I'm already flossing.
Batman.
I'm flossing right now.
All right, I'll floss later, but first I want to drink some Coca-Cola energy drink.
Are we being paid by them?
We are not, but I want to see how this goes. This is a test case. I
am being paid by Fortnite, to be clear, so
okay.
That's why I'll be flossing the entire time.
It doesn't taste half bad. We'll see if it stops my heart or something. But so far, only good things. Okay.
Man, it'd be super weird if we put this up after you die mid-recording.
I mean, if I die mid-recording in any of these podcasts, definitely put it up. Continue the podcast for me. In fact, edit in a fart sound or something, so that whatever my real death sound is just sounds like a big fart, and then I die. That'd be kind of funny.
Can you actually just give us right now a clean recording of you saying, "Oh no, I'm dying of farts," so we can splice that in.
Right, here we go. 3, 2, what's that? Oh no, I'm dying of farts. I'm dead.
Scene.
And scene. All right,
so we'll just put a fart noise after that, and then that's what we use.
That's right. So, guys, speaking of things that probably have a fart noise in there somewhere, I'm trying to think.
I don't think so.
Oh,
no, there was.
Yeah, what was it?
It's when he's in the towel in the motel room.
Oh, you're right. Damn it.
It's so bad the characters are like, man, that's a bad fart. Yeah. I forgot. I knew there was something. So this week we're going to be talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. As far as I'm concerned, Sonic the Hedgehog beta or something. A completely different movie. The second shot at the same movie, but with a cuter Sonic. We're going to go through, nitpick the plot and all that stuff. I do feel like first we're going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog very generally. Then I want to touch on the first couple of trailers and posters. And then we'll talk about the movie that we're going to talk about. So Sonic the Hedgehog. DJ, Diggins, and myself. I know because we have talked about this before. We all have a pretty good, familiarity with the character of Sonic, having played at least a couple of the games.
Yes, sir.
Diggins, I think you've probably played the most because I think you've also played or at least watched people play the bad ones.
Oh, I've played almost all of the main Sonic games. I actually really, really like Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog was the first video game I ever played, and it's just always kind of held a special place in my heart ever since then. So I don't post furry art of Sonic converting to Christianity or anything, but I'm a pretty big Sonic fan, actually.
Okay. DJ, if you had to rank Sonic, rank him amongst the other game characters, Diggins, is he your favorite? Do you like him better than Super Mario and Super Luigi Mario and others? I don't know the names of other characters. Link, Zelda, Samus, Master Chief.
Just keep naming. I was going to say keep naming Smash characters.
Hubert. Wreck-It Ralph. He's a real guy, right? Bowser. That's it. Those
I
are
would
15 video game characters. Is he your favorite?
Of like the big mascot characters, including say your Marios, your Crash Bandicoots, your Spyros, your Jacks and Daxters.
What about
all
your
of them.
Knack? Your Knack?
And your Knacks.
Oh, you love the Knack.
Well, I mean, it's hard to be better than Knack, but even still, I would say of those types of characters, Sonic is probably my favorite.
Indeed.
DJ, what about you?
So I have an interesting. Sonic was actually a huge part of my childhood video game experience. First system I owned was the Sega Genesis, and I played a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3. I had like the Sonic and Knuckles like attachment for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. If anyone remembers that, you'd put like the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge in, and it had like a spot on top of it for another cartridge, and you would have like 2 cartridges in your Sega Genesis to play Sonic the Hedgehog 3 with Knuckles.
Let's see. I'm trying to find a clip. Oh my god, this thing is humongous.
This was the first DLC.
But it wasn't color-coded either. It wasn't like you got a red one, right? Like,
No.
What fools are they?
It just had a lock-on cartridge feature.
Yeah.
This
So
is why the Dreamcast didn't work, because the first version of it was a humongous failure.
Well, Sega was very tactile. They had that, and then the Dreamcast controller had the little fucking memory card screen that you plugged
The
in.
VMU.
For some reason, they were very hands-on with their stuff.
Well, I mean, with a Genesis, you could put on a Mega Drive and a CD attachment, which would make it like 5 feet tall. And
very
then
modular.
On top of that, you could then put your Sonic and Knuckles cartridge with the Sonic 3 cartridge loaded in to make it just that little bit taller.
Yeah.
Why didn't this system take off as much as you'd expect it to? Is it because they only have one mascot and because did you guys see? Well, okay, technically we're not really talking about the movie, but remember the opening crawl for this movie where they show like Sonic and other video game like things and that turns into Sega,
like the Sega universe.
Did you spend the whole time going like, what are any of these things I know? None of them look familiar to me. It almost looked like this was it looked like a Tropic Thunder style intro where they all kind of took what would look like a game but then changed enough so that it's not a game, you know? Because I realized like besides this guy and probably a couple others who didn't make it into that thing or like I didn't notice because it's been updated so much, I didn't recognize any of their guys.
How dare you besmirch the honor of Sambo de Amigo?
How dare I indeed? Is that one of Sonic's friends or is that a completely different game?
Or the Dreamcast Alien Dance one.
Space Channel 5?
Yeah, I think I saw that one.
Yeah, they're coming out with a remake of that, I think in VR.
Ooh, that'd be a hell of a movie.
See,
no, I mean in a game
no,
of it.
I knew what you meant, but I also like the idea of that being a movie.
Yeah, I mean, aliens have kidnapped the president of Earth, and you have to dance to defeat them. So I would watch that movie.
That sounds like that does sound fun. Do you think maybe what their big problem was? Because honestly, I had some Sega systems, like Sega Saturn maybe or whatever, and I had a Game Gear, and I remember all the games I played for. Yeah, I know. I remember all of the games I played for. Those were like Sonic games, and then like movie license games. So like the Aladdin game. I'm pretty sure if you want to play the Power Rangers game, that was a Sega thing. Do you think maybe they just went really all in on like licenses and then went, oh crap, we didn't make any guys. None of our things are things. We just make like, you know, the Lion King game or whatever. Although I don't know what systems any of these were on. I think they were though. I think I'm right about some of these at least.
The thing about early video games is you forget the sheer volume of them that were just bad licensed games.
Yeah.
Like
Truth.
that used to be every movie that ever came out that was even remotely supposed to be like a big hit would have at least like 3 tie-in video games. Mm-hmm. They people have stopped doing that because they realize that all of them are terrible and no one cares. But you know, we're talking about a world in which the Home Alone video game was something I have many memories of as a child.
I was going to say, the other thing that I remember having a lot of, not even necessarily video games, but like video game movie adaptations, but like adjacent, it's like the X-Men games and stuff like that I think was on a couple of the Sega systems. I might be wrong, and I'm sure there've been 50 of them on different things. But that's something that I associate, and that's another thing that they could not, own. They had to just be like, I guess this is like, they can't make their own Super Smash Brothers with, Cyclops and Simba. It's not tenable. Michael Jackson, was that game theirs? What's it called?
Moonwalker?
Yeah, I want to say that might have also been a Sega game.
Hold on, I'm going to look up all the Sega characters that are in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, which is the closest they get to a...
they have Monkey Ball, right? That's them? No.
That is them.
Is it? Okay. They had to... You know how bad it is? They had to put Wreck-It Ralph in it. They had to be like, oh, we got one. It's this new one from the movie about a video game. That counts, right? Please?
Nando, to answer your question, no.
Good to know.
Used to, yes. Recently, no.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'd say the last one I played was probably Battle Adventure 2 or whatever the heck it's called. So
I played Sonic the Hedgehog 4 and really liked it.
When did that one come out?
Oh, God, 2015.
Oh, okay. That's pretty recent.
2016, yeah.
Well, actually, what was the one where you were groups of 3 characters?
Remember that God.
One? Sonic Heroes.
That one is the last one I played, and I didn't care for it, and I don't think I finished it.
Sonic Heroes is not very good.
No, yeah.
All right, let's see here. We've got Ages. Don't know who that is. Alex Kidd from
Aegis?
Ages. Ages.
Huh.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Amigo from Samba de Amigo. Danica Patrick from NASCAR.
What? The fuck?
Gilius Thunderhead. Don't know who that is. Gum. Nope. Joe Musashi. I don't know. Knights from Nights into Dreams. That's something. Pudding. I don't know.
Pudding.
Reela.
Wait, they have the license for pudding?
Yeah, I know, right? And Vice from Skies of Arcadia.
Jesus. How did they last this long? It really was all on Sonic and Goodwill. And, cross-licensing and stuff. Oh, man. It's okay. All right, so we all love Sonic. It's fine. There have been good games. There have been bad games. It seems like, is it 50-50 in terms of good and bad ones? Especially recently. It seems like it's hit, miss, hit, miss, hit, miss.
I think it's 60-40 bad
50s,
to good.
50-50s may be a bit generous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe it kind of seems like the DC crowd and when they would make a DC extended universe movie, and it would be like, you know what, this is pretty good, all things considered. And it would really be like, well, if this was its own thing and it wasn't connected to anything, it would be fine. No one would have strong feelings one way or the other. But I guess I've heard people be like, finally, Sonic's back, baby. Wasn't there a new one that everyone thought was the best thing ever? But it was mostly just the old one again.
Isn't that Sonic the Hedgehog 4?
Are you thinking of Sonic Mania?
I'm thinking of Sonic Mania, that's right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sonic Mania was great.
And then there was Colors. Is that one any good?
Colors was on the Wii. That
it
was
was
pretty good.
okay. I liked it,
fun.
but yeah, it's not great. It's short, actually. It's shockingly short.
And then, what's the worst Sonic game, you think?
Sonic 2006.
06. Yeah, easily.
Which one's that?
Explain, Diggins. I'll give it
Sonic
to you.
2006 is the one where he kisses a human woman.
Yeah.
Doesn't he do that? Oh, I guess Knuckles does that in that other one.
What? Hold on. What?
Not Knuckles. Sorry. The cool badass one.
Shadow's never kissed a human woman. What?
But he has a relationship with the human woman in Battle Adventure too.
They're like friends.
I always thought there was something more. I read a little bit too far
She's
into
like
that, I guess.
6.
Is she?
Oh my God.
She's like a child.
How old is he?
I don't know.
We don't know.
he's
It's
less.
ambiguous.
He was
brand new.
made by a scientist using alien blood, so I don't know. How do you quantify that?
I guess I was wrong. I don't know. Wait, did someone in this game get a kiss to be brought back to life?
In 2006, he got a kiss to get brought back to life, yes. But also, they had a romance story the whole game, so it was clearly supposed to also be a romantic kiss from a human woman.
Maybe I'm blurring these two together, but I do kind of remember some other... I don't know. It's great.
Anyway, it was besides having horrible stories, it looked horrible story where Sonic kisses a human woman, which I cannot emphasize enough. It also looked very bad. It ran very poorly, and the gameplay was extremely buggy and terrible. and it was just overall easily not just the worst Sonic game, but probably one of the worst like big budget games ever made.
Wow. That's high praise, kind of. Like, that's more than I would expect for this thing.
And I was just going to
go
say,
ahead.
I have a standing offer to my friends that if they can find that game for cheap, like $5 cheap, I will sit down and I will play it until it is over.
There's like an emulator version of it or something you can just download from the internet.
Yeah, probably.
It's not like we're trying to give Sega all the money it deserves.
No, it was
not like they'll be getting
PS3
any kickbacks.
360 era, and I don't think we have good emulation of that right now.
Ooh, I bet one of our loyal listeners can find some sort of ridiculous emulator for Sonic 2006. It's probably pretty low footprint for like a good PC. I don't know what you're working with, Diggins, but
do not have.
You can come over to my place and play it or something. I don't know. DJ's got a good PC now too. You just got to get to one of us.
Come on over. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll make a day of it.
Come over so I can suffer.
Yeah.
I have to say, and like, that game is truly terrible, and everything that Diggins said is correct. On top of that, there's some other, like, really, really bad ones, like the one where Sonic Unleashed, where he turns into a werewolf.
I was going to say, that's what I always understood to be one of the worst ones.
That one's actually not so bad.
I think it is, but like, okay, so mixed feelings, sure, but I like generally maybe mixed feelings. Sonic and the Black Knight, truly terrible.
Awful.
You wield a sword because that's what Sonic needed, a fucking sword.
Well, speaking of wielding things, have you guys ever played Shadow the Hedgehog?
I sure have.
Great guy.
So that's your other one, I guess. Although I don't know, I'd say that one has a. Things about Shadow have this weird charm for me, where it's like, oh, you know.
Listen, it's hard not to love a game that includes the line, "Ha, that's like taking candy from a baby, which is fine by me."
That's pretty good.
God.
Yeah, like I can't really hate it. So yeah, I would say between those three that you guys talked about, 2006, Sonic Knights, and Sonic Unleashed, those are probably the three worst big release ones.
Off the top of my head, probably.
Was there a point in this movie where you thought something was going to happen kind of related to one of those, by the way?
Well, if I may go first, the whole time I was thinking, like, so when is the Sonic stuff in this movie going to happen, besides, like, Sonic's in it and some of his stuff? And it's either the beginning or the end of the movie where it goes, like, based on the game Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm like, no, it's not. There's, like, no part of this movie that's based on the video game, except that, like, and now I've never read like the Sonic comics, so I don't know anything about Longclaw or if the rings ever were teleportation.
I don't think Longclaw is a person.
I think they made Longclaw up, DJ. I never really read much of the comics, but I know a little bit about them, and I don't think that's what they're about.
But like, if that's the case, they just made up a bunch of shit and just plucked out the character Sonic the Hedgehog. So I thought it was quite weird.
I mean, let alone, I'm thinking, when is stuff from the game going to show up? I was like, when is the stuff from the beginning going to show up?
Well, I think someone pointed this out, and I think this is a good point. At one point, at least there is many points in this movie where something happens, and like it's kind of like one of those things that, like, you know, in an Avengers movie would be the character trying on their outfit from the comics and going, this is dumb, and then throwing it away. There were a bunch of things like that happened where I'm like, is that from Sonic? And none of them are. That hat he wears for that 1 second, I don't think that's a thing. Like, there was so much of that it was really hard for me to be like, I guess I don't know Sonic well enough to know if a lot of references are going over my head, but from what I've heard, they are not.
Yeah, they made a lot of shit up. Like, especially the rings. That's got to be the biggest. Like, anyone with a passing knowledge of Sonic must know that the rings are not a teleportation method. They're an innovative way to have health, you know.
Well, one could argue that in the first couple Sonic games that one travels to the bonus zones by jumping into a giant ring.
All right.
And so in that sense, perhaps...
Feels like not the intent, though, because he's carrying a big bag of these things, and then he throws it, and it turns into one of them. It's not like there's these giant rings placed strategically in places.
No, it is absolutely being overly generous. I'm just saying.
I got you.
Do you think this movie would be the same movie if Doctor Strange didn't come out 4 years before? Do you think there was a treatment of this where they were using the Doctor Strange teleporting method, and then Doctor Strange came out and they were like, holy shit, or they watched Doctor Strange and were like, that's what the rings are. I figured it out, someone. Little flaming circles.
I think you are massively overestimating how long ago they started thinking about what this movie is.
Yeah, I think that's correct. And you know what? To be fair, it didn't make any sense. But if you're gonna give him rings, besides that, like I understand that as a plot device way more than I understand any of the stuff with the owls, or the single owl. Especially considering like it was like this is the plot device that you can use to travel the universe. I don't know. It's really weird. How
about we describe what the intro is? Since
yeah.
Wait.
Before we do that, I really want to get real quick because we've talked about Sonic the Hedgehog. He's great. He's a rad dude. Whatever. The original version of this movie. How were you guys introduced to Gen 1 Sonic, the movie character that looks like a little, furry potato, like the ugly one?
I believe I watched the original trailer and was like, oh no, they're doing it. No.
Oh, yeah. I recall when the first trailer hit and the internet exploded. I was there, and I was like, damn, this movie's going to be even worse than I thought it was going to be.
See, the fun thing about that for me was when I learned about this, I learned about it slowly by, like, being a person who's not even, like, close to this. Sony or whoever made this was like sending me pictures, but just like being like constantly looking for rumors about what X-Men was going to be, whatever. There were so many things that leaked out that were like concept art for Sonic, and this thing is what this guy's going to look like, and you just saw it, and it was almost like looking at it was almost like a puzzle that got revealed more and more over time when there was a poster that just had his legs, and then there was a teaser they released a day or two before the first trailer came out that had him in shadow, and not in shadow, obviously. In shadow, he was you couldn't see his features.
I remember all this. Yes,
yeah, there was enough stuff that, as someone who had heard rumors that this was going to be like ugly and weird and everyone was going to hate it, you just kept watching, like seeing all these things, going, well, this can't be. This sounds like what that guy described, but there's no way it's this. And yeah, slowly but surely it was like, oh, he has human caps. Oh, his eyes are too small for them to be the Sonic eyes you're expecting. He's not wearing gloves. And then, yeah, when that trailer came out, it was like a complete, everything we had feared was happening. It was the worst case scenario, considering there was a lot of this that was like, well, there's no way. People are just getting all, overexcited. But no, it was the bad thing. It was really a terrific moment for the internet. This and Cats, man, got us through 2019.
Yeah, but at least Cats is having this like weird victory where it's going to be presented at like Alamo Drafthouse. Call us. And,
come on, Alamo, get your shit together. Don't
if I can take a quick tangent, they saw the Polygon guys in their mentions and were like, "Oh yeah, you guys."
Yeah.
And I was like,
"We're better than them."
Yeah,
there's less of us. You probably don't have to pay us.
Yeah.
Probably also
wait, hold on. Let's not commit to that.
Us. I mean, you give me milk or whatever for free, and I'll work for peanuts just to see the stupid movie.
But this movie, I think, is just going to fade from the consciousness almost immediately.
I don't know. It made a lot of money. It'll probably get a sequel.
Well, we know it's going to get a sequel.
They were thirsty for a sequel.
Yeah.
We'll talk spoilers afterwards. But
do you think this could be like one of those movies? I'm trying to think, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles isn't a great example, but kind of, where like the first one wasn't very good, but then the second one was way better, but the first one was still so bad nobody cared. In terms of like getting other people besides very small children on board.
But I don't know what the story will be for the next one. And, anyway, go ahead.
And there's really only one story unless you get into the big stuff.
Yeah, but it's gonna
mythology. So
there was no Chaos Emeralds in this movie. You gonna do that? You can do a fetch quest with Chaos Emeralds.
I think you could do Metal Sonic, some sort of pretender to the Sonic throne, causing chaos.
And I mean, there was everything in the intro that they just never brought up again.
Yeah,
you can use that.
Travel to the bonus planet. That's a sphere for collecting stuff. Go to there and just fuck around for a couple minutes.
What was the original question? Is this a...
The question was... There was no question. I said something about cats, and then we were kind of talking about sequels.
God.
Well, here's
Alamo
the thing.
Drafthouse, take us
Call us.
seriously. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, about what you were saying about how the sequel might be way better, but no one cares because the first one was so bad.
Yeah.
I don't think this movie is that bad.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's not good, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Which, considering how much of a disaster it looked like it was going to be, like, clearly the desperate last-minute revisions that you can see the seams of in the final product were very much needed and actually kind of successful, that it's okay. But it's in a way, it's the worst-case scenario, because it's not so bad that I'm, like, interested in it, but it's also not that good.
I also think the okay measurement is on the scale of it's a kids movie.
Yeah.
Like, that has to be one of the measurements. Like, Cats wasn't a kids movie. It was a movie that was very bad. But there's very obvious kids movie parts, which I don't think you could really fault them for. Like, the bar fight and the fart noises. Like, it is a kids movie, so that's what's going. Sonic's a kid. He's a big, fast kid.
Well, hey, listen, if we have any kids listening to this, first of all, you shouldn't. We curse a lot.
We do curse a lot. People pointed that out to me, like, hey, you curse a lot on your podcast. I'm like, well, sorry. Do we need one of those, like, disclaimers, like, this podcast includes explicit language? Or can we get, like, a little E-tag, like they do for, like, rap songs that have cursing?
No,
They do
'cause
have
then we'll
those for
seem
podcasts.
way cooler than we are.
That's true.
I don't want to oversell people on this. We curse a couple of times, and it's usually when we're talking about something stupid.
Anyway, you kids should know that unlike DJ, I respect your intelligence. I think that kids' movies can also be good movies, and that they don't have to be like dumb and puerile to appeal to your kid sensibilities.
Yes,
So that's
I
just
agree.
just a little thought from me to you, kids out there.
If I may defend myself, may I do it? In moderator, I need 90 seconds. You can't see it, Nando, but
all
I'm
right.
raising my hand.
No, I
my
see
name
it's-
was mentioned. I need 90
Right.
seconds.
Yeah, you may respond since you were named in his response.
Okay. So I do agree that, like, kids' movies can just generally be good, but I sometimes feel that when Hollywood is making certain scripts in movies that are very marketed to kids, a lot of them will just default to, oh, this is silly writing that kids will like, and we'll throw it in here. Like, I don't think Disney does it as much. I think DreamWorks has stepped away from it in large part. But otherwise, I think a lot of studios still stoop to, like I'm sure the Scooby-Doo movie will have, like, a ton of, like, kids' humor. And sure, it might be a good movie, but I think it's just ready for fart jokes and bad jokes and silly bits that don't provide any real entertainment and make the movie, in general, more boring. And it might be more boring for kids, too. Like, I'm not judging this on what kids like. I'm judging it on, like, sometimes writers are bad.
Can I just say,
I didn't mention your name, so you get no time. Moderator,
You're
shut
right.
him down.
Very fair.
all right.
All right, moving
No,
on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can I just say that Scooby-Doo trailer, I hate the parts where they're children so much.
Why?
I don't know. There's something about it. I think it's the voices. I hate the voices. I hate the, like, fake kid voices they use. They sound awful to me.
Hi, Scooby. This is Velma.
I'm Scooby. Yeah. If
Yeah,
there's
I
anything
gotcha.
I hate about it, I think this Scooby-Doo talks way more than Scooby-Doo used to.
Oh my God, so much talking.
If old Scooby-Doo would be like, what are you kids doing here? Hello, officer. But this one's like, hello, officer. I'm Scooby-Doo. And, like, he goes through full sentences. And it's like, that's not how this one works. He's still a dog. He just kind of sounds like he can kind of talk. And he can, but a
They do
normal
talk to
person
him.
wouldn't get it.
Seems like a hyper-intelligent dog.
Do you think anybody's going to floss in that movie?
Oh,
100%.
The aliens.
me too.
The aliens will be flossing all over the place.
Yeah, they'll be like, this is our language. Can you speak this language? What about flossing?
Do you think Onward will have flossing? Because I actually don't think Onward will have flossing.
I
No,
don't think
but
Onward will have
I
flossing.
think Soul might.
I can see it.
There's a bit in Soul where there's already a character doing a dance. Like, here's my cool dance for the internet. And I feel like they might as well put flossing in. Who cares? At that point, it's like, fuck it, flossing.
Just a quick update, by the way. I still have not stopped flossing.
Oh my God, Diggins. Last week you do your slow honorable seppuku, and this week you're doing one very slow floss. And
It's actually very fast.
oh, you're flossing so fast it seems like you're flossing slowly.
Yep.
That's what
It's
they
okay.
that's what they always say, you know. greatest trick the devil ever played was tricking him and thinking he wasn't flossing when he was flossing the whole time.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Anyway, so this movie, we're going to spoil it and get into big details, but before that, and we've kind of gotten to this, what did you guys think of Sonic the Hedgehog? Is that what the movie's called?
Yes.
Lost in Wisconsin or whatever.
Montana, Dickens.
Montana,
Don't disrespect the people of Green Hills. Is that a real place, by the way?
Of course not.
I didn't look it up.
No.
It can't be.
It could be. It's Montana.
But it's like the Green Hills from the game, right? That's like what it is. I
know
just
it's called
made it
Green
up.
Hills, but you're telling me I'm going to find Green Hills. I'm going to find a town called Green Hills.
Oh my God, is there? I feel like such
You
a
forced
fool.
my hand.
So it's a ranch in Montana, but it does not seem like that is a place. It does not seem like that is a town.
Let's see. Oh, there's a Green Hills. Green Hills, Ohio. Yeah, it's one word, but there's a Green Hills, Ohio.
Well, guess
Well,
what
so-
Ohio isn't, DJ? Montana.
It's not the little town with a big heart. Here's a question. If that's what the Green Hills is, did he actually just go to a different Green Hills? Where was
What do
he
you
when he
mean?
started? Was his planet not Green Hills Zone Planet or whatever?
Could
mean,
be
it
Green
was-
Hills in two places.
But were
It
they
was
both called
like
that?
the Green Hill Zone from the games. It was very
Yeah.
clearly supposed to be that, but they never say it's called Green Hill or whatever.
Could it
That
be
makes
like
sense.
Miami, Florida, and Miami, Ohio?
It's possible. And I think you almost think that would be like how they would do it. Is it would be like, where am I going? Green Hills. And you get here and he's like, this is not it. This was a
Yeah.
different place. This is Montana, apparently, or Ohio, depending on how like geographically accurate we want to be to life. Okay. So what do you guys think of this movie? Did you like it? It's pretty good. It's fine.
Dickens, you could go first.
It was fine. I was expecting it. As I laid down my marker last week that this would be one of the worst movies of the year.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
was
you
wrong.
were wrong when you called your shot. So, you called your shot, but you were wrong.
I was wrong.
It's like when-
I'm man
Babe
enough
Ruth-
to admit when I'm wrong.
It would be like if Babe Ruth pointed, but then someone banged on a trash can, and then he knew what pitch was coming, and then he's like, oh, okay, I got it.
That's from real baseball.
That's not what this is at all, but I just
little
wanted to use
kid.
a real baseball analogy.
Or not the little kid.
It's
that-
funny
that
because the
weird adult.
Astros cheated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're bad people.
So you thought it was like average Diggins, or like a little less than average, like passable? Like where
It
would
was
you
like a perfect 5 out of 10.
C?
Yeah.
Just a C.
Yeah.
I think
All
that's
right.
reasonable. DJ, what
Yeah.
about you?
I honestly, same. I have to say, I was mostly bored during it. I didn't have my expectations in any particular place, but I felt kind of bored throughout. And I was waiting for the movie to start the whole time, because we get some like intro plot, and then the movie just kind of goes. But there's so many points where there's no conflict, or like you don't understand why there's conflict. So just as an example, the whole movie's basically one long fetch quest, but it's just to get one thing. And at the end, he should be able to run up a building to get it, but he can't for some reason, and I didn't understand that. But then they solved the problem in 2 seconds, so why not just have him run up a building? Like, here's how I see that scene going down. Oh my god, how are we going to get to the top of the building? And Sonic goes, guys, I could run up to the top of the building. I'm so fast. Okay, bye. And then that's it. Instead of the weird bullshit they did do.
But then how would we have had the really, really bad looking CGI of them falling off the building?
Oh my dear god, that was terrible.
So yeah.
So Nando, what did you think?
I don't know. It's fine. I think I reviewed it. It's like a 2.5. It's a 2.5. It's okay. It's got all the stuff you expected, and considering what the trailer was, it's pretty much the trailer bits. There were some bits that I'm like at the very end where I'm like, thank God they at least did that.
Right.
But yeah, whatever.
I know someone who's a huge Sonic stan, and I would love to talk to him to get his take, because I feel like, I know we established our Sonic fandom, but for like the true diehards, the ones who loved Sonic 06, unironically, I would love to get their take on, did you love this movie?
Wait,
Did
hold
you
on.
hate it? What?
There's anybody who loves Sonic 06 unironically?
I know a person. I
What?
know one person.
I'm like having a meltdown in my brain now, just contemplating that idea.
I won't out them because I don't want to like have an argument start or whatever, but this is a real person who I know exists, and I could like get their take.
You should out them when we're off mic, because I need to know.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I can do
same.
that. All right.
Yeah, I think, it's not very good. representation of the character. Kind of looks like him sometimes, you know? I mean, it looks like him the whole time, but you're like, oh yeah, that's Sonic, all right. If that guy wasn't Sonic, do you think you would have any clue this was a Sonic movie? Let's say it is like Blue Devil, the space monster.
Well, when the villain was Dr.
Like,
Robotnik, I'd be
yeah,
like,
I
oh
guess,
yeah.
What if his name is just, whatever, Ivo or whatever that character's first name is? Is that his first name? Am I crazy?
Ivo is Robotnik's first name, yes.
Yeah, so what if he were just Mr. Ivo? Mr. Ivo versus the blue Super Ball guy. Would you ever be like, it kind of seems like they had a Sonic movie that they changed the names in? Or do you think it would just go by and you're like, oh yeah. There would be like theories on the internet that was like, this is just like Sonic the Hedgehog.
And you'd be like, is it actually?
Yeah, I don't know. You guys are reaching.
People would point to the one chili dog. The red shoes at the end that he gets. I think those are the calling cards, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Which, I guess... I'm sorry, go ahead, Nando.
I was just going to say, do what you got to do. Helps that they tried.
Leads into the question. Do you guys think that this character had the mannerisms of Sonic? Like, did he act like a Sonic character, or a Sonic you expect would, if we're going to concede that he did at least look like him?
I think he did. Yeah. I just don't think he did any of the things Sonic would do.
Right.
Like, it'd be like if you put... It was a movie with Sonic, but it was not a Sonic movie. The same way that if you dropped Sonic into an episode of CSI, it would not cease to be Sonic. Like, it would continue being Sonic in that show, but it would not be an actual episode of that show that feels like a video game like Sonic. I guess that's kind of what I mean.
It was a take on Sonic. It was like clearly different from other versions, but still kind of recognizably the idea of the character in a way that I was like, all right. This is something.
I feel like the one thing that was missing was that I feel like Sonic is always supposed to have a little bit of attitude, and this guy had no attitude. He was just a goofball the whole time, and I feel like it's a bit one note for Sonic, if I'm being like the most critical analyzing this movie. Sonic's like, come on, Eggman, you can't take me. Like a little bit of that, like a little bit of edge.
He did that at the end, though, didn't he? Isn't that exactly what he did? Isn't he like, I gotta save my friends, you jerk?
Well, yeah, but that's like his being like righteous. I'm talking about like you're no big deal. You're no shit. You're just a nerd.
Kind of in the bar fight when he decides to clown on everybody.
Yeah.
I guess it's like on the margins though, but there was just like something that there was kind of missing. I felt like he was too one note. Like the actor was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna play this guy like he's a goofer, and that's gonna be the whole thing. I feel like every speedster has some edge. The Flash has some edge. Quicksilver has some edge. You know, give Sonic some edge.
But if we put some edge in this movie, then we'd have to put Shadow in. The Edgelord.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, that'll be the third movie. We're slowly going to be ramping up to the Sonic cinematic universe.
Yeah, I think there's no way we don't do. Not no way, but I do think we'll get. I think we'll get Metal Sonic in a future one, maybe the next one, and then I think Shadow will have to show up soon. I mean, there's only so many Sonics you can do.
There's a clear. I feel like they were hinting towards a very clear conflict in the second one, and we'll get there.
Yeah,
but it's not Shadow and it's not Metal Sonic.
Really, I think Metal Sonic is part of it.
I mean, maybe, but that not like the main villain.
We'll see. Not we'll see. I mean, we will see, but we'll talk about it more when we have more, stuff to talk about. Like once we've gotten into spoilers. What did you think of the performances? Speaking of that, we loved Sonic. He was so great. Like DJ just said, Ben Schwartz is good. I liked him. He was like very hyperactive child Sonic, as opposed to like, cool dude Bart Simpson Sonic, I guess, is kind of the other character I'd base Sonic's like. I'd say he's somewhere between child and Bart Simpson. All
right,
skewed way closer to child.
I'll take it.
But what about the other ones? What about so we got Tom? Say
John Marston,
James Marston,
James Marston, John Marston, James Marston.
There's only one other person, one other actor in this movie worth talking about, in my opinion. If we're talking about James Marsden, he was fine. Whatever.
He's very nice. He's a nice guy. That's all I got.
Yeah, I got nothing for you.
He's agreeable. He has a very, very like nice smile.
Yeah, good face. Good face.
He looks like a guy where I look at and I'm like, that makes me feel safe and like normal, and like this is the America I grew up with.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, that's like a little scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's it, Diggins. You tell him. Yeah.
Wow, I feel about that.
Well,
what was I going to say? Oh, okay, yeah. So then the other character in this movie is Neil McDonough's army captain guy from one scene. Remember that?
mm-hmm.
That's a weird one.
That's who I was talking about, yeah.
It's weird that he's there. I kept wondering when he was going to
weird.
show up again or be part of it, but he didn't. That was strange.
It was also very weird posture for like the army to take. Like, all right, take over one guy.
Yeah, what is that? Is that guy like the main army guy, his dad or something? I kind
Yeah.
of got that vibe of like, we should really bring in my son. He's good at computers. He can find this little hedgehog fella.
Well, at the time, they don't even know it's a hedgehog. They're just like, a weird thing happened that took out the power in this area of America. What we should do to figure out what happened is send in this one man that we all hate.
Yeah. Who like has drones or something.
Oh,
like
so
he's
many
some sort of
drones.
drone-related billionaire that people don't immediately recognize.
Yeah, it's not like Steve Jobs. Like, oh my god, it's like no one knows who this guy is, but
Yeah.
he's the one. Maybe he blackmailed the general, and that's why he has to.
That's true. Yeah, there's drones like spying on him in his shower or something, or like
Yeah.
he's found his internet history like he did to that one guy. Maybe that is how he just keeps like slunking up the like power, the levers of power is just by threatening everyone to. Because that's a thing from this movie, right? I'm not crazy. At some point, he threatens
he says
to
it at
reveal
some
someone's
point.
internet history.
Oh,
yeah,
the fucking
two-
captain, right? Or
Yeah.
like,
To
Lieutenant
Neil-
Colonel.
Neil McDonough.
Yeah, to New McDonough, he does it.
Oh, it is that guy? Okay, yeah, all right.
So I can see you making that all the way up to the president. Like I don't see any human being on Earth being immune to just that threat from someone that seemed like they could deliver on it. Now I guess you do own my car. Goodbye, stranger. I hope you don't explore. Like that's just that's not gonna work. But no, of course the character that we are talking about is Adam Pally's police officer guy. He doesn't like being a police officer very much, does
He's
he?
very, very bad at it.
Not good at
Very,
it.
very
Shouldn't
bad
be a
at
police officer, if you ask me.
Listen, for the one joke that character was, it was a pretty decent joke.
Which one? I think there were a couple of jokes I kind of liked from him.
No, I just mean
Or-
like
oh,
for
you mean
that
like his
character
one
just
character
being
trait?
being a one-note joke. It was a
Yep.
pretty good one-note joke.
Until that one bit where he wasn't quite a joke. And then you're
Whoa.
like, yeah.
Yeah, he almost kills a man.
Pretty much. You should have at that point. Might as well. I think
Yeah,
he would have
right?
been justified. I mean, who knows what the government would have done? They probably all would have like cheered and celebrated. Thank God he's dead. Nobody liked him.
Listen, they basically did kill
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
And the government is like, yeah, all right, whatever.
All right.
Is he such a good marksman that he could shoot a bullet an inch away from his head at like 30 feet away, or is he so bad because he was aiming for his head but missed by like 3 inches?
Maybe that's his one quality. Maybe that's how he got the job. Just like nailed the marksmanship part of the, exam, but failed everything else.
Okay.
But no, of course, we're talking about Tika Sumpter, who played what's his name's wife, I think, the one from this. What's her name?
Yeah, she was
Maddie.
Pretzel Lady.
Yeah, Pretzel Lady. That's right, Pretzel Lady and
Which-
Donut Lord.
We never get an origin story for Pretzel Lady.
Nope.
Does yoga and is nice and has an overbearing sister. That's all you need.
Oh my god, so overbearing.
So the worst.
Why? I wish we knew why she wanted to break up James Marsden. And,
Right?
her why she wanted to break them up.
I just realized that Pretzel Lady, because she does the yoga and like twists herself up. I just realized it.
I'm also
Yeah.
just realizing that myself.
Wait, really? I said that just now, and that's why. Oh wow. Okay.
Well, no, the yoga, right? Like,
Yeah.
Did you know that's why she was Pretzel Lady?
Yeah, I
Nando?
said that. That's what I said. I was like, she's Pretzel Lady. She does yoga. That's her thing.
Sorry, I thought.
Okay.
I thought those were two separate thoughts.
No, yeah, pretzels.
My mistake. Yeah.
I mean, is that a Sonic thing? Does Sonic think about nothing but food? That was part of my thing. Was like he doesn't eat human food in these games, right?
Oh, chili dogs.
Besides
Chili
that,
dogs.
Chili dogs is a thing for Sonic.
yeah. But is Sonic like kind of like sometimes the Flash is just like eating constantly because he has to eat, and it's like food. But this Sonic just seems like like he likes chili dogs. That's about it.
I could be making shit up, but is there like a casino level in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 where he could eat a lot of food?
There's definitely a casino level.
Recall there being food there.
Yeah, I don't either.
No. I'm like slot machines and food, like cherries and stuff.
There's slot machines. They don't give you food. They give you rings or take rings away.
Okay, so food is not a part of it outside of chili dogs.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Also, yeah, the one from there's the sister who is the worst. Just the absolute
terrible.
worst. I don't know, why does she not like him? What did he do?
Well, there's one obvious difference between him and Tika Sumpter and her family, which is, of course, that he is from a rural area, and she does not like rural people.
But he's going to move to San Francisco. That's the plan. Like, it seems like
Yeah,
this
right?
should be game over awesome. Actually, you took my sister, you made her live in Montana like a dumbass, but now you're moving to a cool place. Not that I think Montana's a bad place, but, I mean, that's what she thinks. Yeah. I don't have any opinion. I don't even know where Montana, is. I know where it is, but if you, showed me pictures of towns, I'm like, which one's in Montana? I have no idea.
Fun
Show
fact.
me pictures of any towns. I wouldn't know what state they're in.
Exactly.
New York City, Diggins. If I showed you a picture of New York
I
City...
said towns.
Yeah, it's a city.
All right. I'll think of a town. I totally got derailed. Oh, well, it's lost.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, not I want to say wife, but sister is just insufferable. No, of course, we're out of fake characters. We have to talk about him. Agent Stone, played by Lee Majdoub, is assistant to some character who will probably never ever be named. He has no thing except
this bit is the best.
We're almost done. I swear I'm out of characters that would even kind of be worth mentioning, except for Frank C. Turner playing Crazy Carl. Oh, the little girl.
Crazy Carl. I do have a thing to mention about Crazy Carl.
Okay.
Which is
little girl. What else you got?
Yeah, we got Melody,
Bar patron.
Neiman. That's the girl. Yeah, there's plenty of them in there. Roadhouse waitress. But okay, yeah. So Lee Majdoub, Agent Stone. Terrific.
He makes good lattes.
There's another character who that is, right? Someone from a movie we've seen recently who is doing the exact same thing and looks similar, and I can't place it.
Just getting dunked on by a head villain?
Yeah, being a second-in-command villain, being very, submissive and kind of not like a nerd, but I don't know. It was just, it's so similar and it's going to kill me.
Similar to a million different characters, really.
I know, but it's something recent.
That we did or that came out?
One or the other, probably both, because if it's something I've seen, it's probably something that we've done, because I wouldn't watch movies with this character in it. I wouldn't watch a Sonic the Hedgehog.
What superhero? Because that's what movies have villains that have comic sidekicks.
We'll figure it out. Either way, he was great. Everybody else was great. And then there was another guy in it that was Jim Carrey. He was playing Dr. Ivo Robotnik. Or Eggman, although I get what they were going for with that here. How long did it take you to figure out the egg thing?
What, the drones were eggs or whatever?
Yeah, that connection. Is that
he said it, right? Didn't he say it?
He does eventually say it, but, I mean, you could tell just by looking at them. Not that I did.
They were eggs, and then he says, they're my egg sack or something like that. At one point, he uses the word egg sack. It's quite offensive. But yeah, what'd you guys think of Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik?
Hey, listen, the man knew what this was about, and he decided to have fun with it, and I respect that. He was just up hamming it up, having a good time. I feel like there was a bit of the early Jim Carrey energy to this in the comedies he used to do, like The Mask. Not that this was anywhere near as good as The Mask, but there was that Jim Carrey, wacky energy to it that was nice to see again after so long without it.
It felt like 30% Liar Liar. That's what my takeaway was.
Yeah,
I was okay with it.
Yeah, I would say even less Liar Liar, and I would say 30% Ace Ventura. That's my big kind of energy, just in the way he delivered every line, da 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 da. But also there was one bit, I can't remember exactly what he said or how he said it, but something he was saying to Tom, the policeman, when he approaches him at his house, he was they were talking and having a conversation, and he did that thing that Jim Carrey used to do in the 90s where we go, and then like, land a big, like kind of wind up a word. And that specifically made me go like, oh my God, it's Jim Carrey. I remember this. And that was fun. I quite liked him here. I'm happy. Yeah, I like between this and a couple of other movies, I'd say Jim Carrey's like almost kind of back. Did you guys watch that show, Kidding?
No.
He's
I've heard
interesting
of it,
in it. It's not quite my thing, but he's good in it.
It's not your kid thing.
That's right.
That was terrible. Go away. Stop. If you're still flossing, stop flossing and walk out the room.
I'll never
Or
stop flossing.
Floss your way out the room if need be.
That's what would be helpful, yeah. I guess, you know what, I'm looking at his stuff now. He did Kick-Ass 2, and I thought he was pretty good in that. As like his name was Colonel Stars and Stripes, where he's like there. I don't know how do you even describe it. Doesn't matter. He doesn't have anything else in the pipeline besides this Kidding show, which I think is currently on the air. Like it's going now, but that'll end soon. So I wonder what weird reboot of some Jim Carrey property we're going to get in the near future.
Actually, Jim Carrey famously does not do sequels.
Oh, what about this?
That sounds like a joke.
Break that trend?
No, that's like a thing. Jim Carrey does not do sequels.
Yeah,
Ace Ventura 2.
Dumb and Dumber 2.
I mean, there have been
Kick-Ass
Dumb
2.
and Dumber 2 was not that long ago. He wasn't in Kick-Ass 1, so he wasn't doing a sequel.
You weren't paying attention. He was there. I believe it. I believe in the canon. He was there the whole time because he's one of the enforcers.
For the most part, Jim Carrey does not like to do sequels. That's why, like, The Mask 2 doesn't have him in it.
Right. Batman
there's a few
Forever 2 doesn't have him in it. It was gonna, though. Have you ever heard about that?
No.
He was gonna. So Batman and Robin was going to be one of the most expensive movies ever made, according to legend. Because at one point, it was going to be Scarecrow was going to be the bad guy. Or maybe it would even be the one preceded, like the fifth one that never came out. But either way, so there will be Scarecrow, bad guy, makes a fear toxin vision that they would have brought back all of the old Batman villains to like beat up Batman, including the Riddler. It would have been amazing. And we're going to get some deep fake version of that, I'm sure, in the future. But man, that would have been cool. Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer, what's his name? Christopher Walken as Mayor something or whatever. I forget what he was. Anyway, yeah, I guess he doesn't do sequels necessarily, but I could see him. I mean, he's going to come back for this, right?
He's going to do these until the end of time, I feel like. Because I feel like in for a penny, in for a pound, if you agree to do Robotnik for one Sonic movie, you'll agree to do it for 7. Why would he stop?
I think he might do these because he's not the point of the movie. He's just in them. I think he doesn't like to do sequels to movies where he's the main character is the main thing.
Right. Even though they would all have such good titles. Liar, Liar, Liar. Right? That would be what you would call The Liar, Liar 2. The Truman Show would be the Truman
No, you'd obviously
Show.
You'd call it Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire.
That's the fourth one. Or the third one. You gotta, you can't just call it Liar, 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 Liar all day long. Eventually you have to kind of truncate it. How the Grinch Stole President's Day.
Hanukkah or Kwanzaa.
We already did a sequel to that movie. It was Cat in the Hat. Remember that?
That's true. Yeah, a lot of good movies you can make. Lots of good Jim Carrey movies. Mrs. Popper's Penguins. There's one. No Man. Anyway, man, there's a lot of his movies in the.
24.
Yeah, the number 24. That's a good one. All good answers. So anyway. So he's great in this movie. I loved it. I loved when he danced. I loved all his stupid facial expressions. It's great. It was if it wasn't in this movie, I would have left after 10 minutes. Like, not that he was in it 10 minutes in, but I would have been like, there's nothing for me here. But I could at least be like, all right, well, another Jim Carrey scene's probably going to happen. Not that I didn't like Ben Schwartz, but, it's fine. Nothing for me.
Ben Schwartz is doing a fine job, but it's still just like voice clips out of a void.
Yeah.
As a CGI creation, like, does some stuff. And I don't know. There's only so much of that you can take.
I agree. What did you think of the character of Dr. Robotnik?
I thought it was done, like, fairly well. I got what they were going for. How true is it to any of the canon? I don't care. I was just happy for him to be there. He made it his own thing, which was nice. I guess you could say that about Ben Schwartz and Sonic, but I disagree with the thing that he made it. I guess it was just more like variety. I don't know if variety is the right word. But, like, to your point, Nando, there's, like, a reason to stick around and see, like, all right, what crazy shit's Jim Carrey going to do next? Like, what silly nonsense is going to happen? Like, legit, like, if you want to talk about one of the better parts of this movie, like, when... It's like a bit of a spoiler, but when he figures out how to be on par with Sonic, it's like, oh, okay. That's kind of interesting.
Are you talking about the dancing bit or other bits? After that,
the chase bit mostly.
Oh, okay. Because I like the dancing bits. I really did. I thought they were great.
And no, the dancing bits were good.
Jim Carrey can dance, guys. Who knew? I mean, we probably could have been like, he could probably do it, but still.
Well, the dancing is like a lot of just weird movements. I don't know how much of that is dancing.
It's like the robot, and it's like very, robotic. Do you think that was his audition? And he was like, so are there sides? No. You're just going to do the robot dance. You can do the robot dance, right? And he's like, and then, no, we've seen it. That's just a really specific part of this character that we're definitely getting. Everybody's dancing, and you're doing the robot dance. And he nailed it. All right. Diggins, is it anything like Dr. Robotnik? What would you describe Dr. Robotnik's character as like?
It's not super close. There's something in there, especially of late. Robotnik has become this very kind of a goofy sort of character, even a little oafish, despite being like very intelligent. And so there's a bit of that in there. He was a lot meaner than Robotnik. I mean, Robotnik, who kidnaps animals and builds robots out of them and wants to kill a hedgehog for some vaguely defined reason.
Right.
But I guess Robotnik just doesn't typically interact with people who aren't Sonic, so it's hard to say if he's meaner than Robotnik typically is or not. But yeah, a little meaner, but overall similar energy, kind of like I said with Sonic, where noticeably different but similar energy.
Right. Okay. And the black outfit that he wears in the beginning of the movie, is there any like precedent for that? Because I couldn't figure that out.
I'm not aware of any. It's like the red jumpsuit or like the red top with the black pants is always the traditional one. But he's also usually like a big round tubby man shaped like an egg.
Yeah, do you think they'll do that in the future?
Well, he'll have to eat a lot of things, but I think I know what he could eat given his current situation. Spoiler alert!
Whoa! Well, they could have gone with the Sonic 2006 Eggman design, which I am going to put in the chat in just a second, because I don't think... If you've seen it, you probably don't remember it, Nando.
No, I don't.
So you may be a little surprised.
Is it teeny tiny legs and a big old circle body, or is that the main one?
That's the normal one.
Okay.
I'm about to share with you
I'm not excited about this. I'm excited, but I'm like a little... Uh-oh.
Right. Let's see if I can...
Here it comes, baby. Getting some good old-fashioned American Sonic. Oy! That's a big stomach, like, ugh. I don't like that at all. What is it with calves in these franchises?
His pants are, like, up to his nipples.
Yeah, but there's also, like, weird definition in his gut. It's not just a big circle.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's like he's pregnant.
This was their take at a more realistic Robotnik.
That's awful. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's very bad.
Yikes. Where are the tails?
God.
Doesn't he usually have a little tails coming off his coat?
Yeah,
Like, that would help
coat
elongate
tails.
his, ugh. I love it. All right. Anybody want to take a guess at the IMDb summary? Let's play that game. The IMDb
it's our new
summaries of
favorite
movies
game.
are bad. Let's see if you guys can name it. Sonic.
Diggins, you want to go first? Or
Yeah,
go
Diggins,
first?
you go first, and then
Oh,
DJ.
right, sure.
Yeah, because Diggins usually, or DJ, I feel like has gone
right.
first.
All right.
The first couple times.
So, Sonic is a interdimensional speedster, and Hedgehog is forced from his home when other people find out about his power of running good. So hiding out on Earth until one day the government finds out about his powers, and so he needs to escape with the help of his new friend, James Marsden. He has to escape the attentions of the villainous Dr. Robotnik, who's working for the government to dissect Sonic? It's not clear.
All right. A little wordy. DJ, what do you got?
A speedy and rambunctious hedgehog is chased away from his home after it is discovered that he has mysterious powers. After traveling from world to world, he finally finds his home on Earth, where he teams up with an unlikely sidekick in a local cop, Tom Malinowski. Tom and Sonic team up for a strange buddy adventure where they have to find Sonic's rings before being captured by the evil Dr. Robotnik.
Okay, so you both made one fatal error that, honestly, it almost seems like you didn't even see the movie because you made a huge mistake. You mistakenly thought the main character of this movie was Sonic, and the plot summary should revolve around Sonic. It is not. After discovering a small blue fast hedgehog, a small-town police officer must help it defeat an evil genius who wants to do experiments on it. So it's about Tom. The movie's about Tom. And the Sonic could be anything. Sonic could be a fancy little squirrel. It doesn't matter. Just he has to help this thing.
He is a fancy little squirrel when you think about it. He is a fancy
little squirrel.
I love the idea of this movie being called Tom the Human.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh. You see, like, the trailers, and it's like this guy, like, what's going on? You're like, what the fuck is this movie? And then it turns out it's secretly a Sonic movie.
Well, what if they got the complete wrong? Like, they were like, you know what? Sonic's not what the kids love. They love Tom. So then they went and changed the next one to like Tom, Sonic and Tails or something. Like, they gotta give the kids what they want. Otherwise they might not show up to like Birds of Prey, Tom's Revenge. They'll wonder if Tom's in it because they won't get there.
Tom's the hot new shit. Every movie has to have Tom in it.
Yo, seriously though, what if there was a game where you could play as Sonic or Tom? I mean, pretty much just swap in a skin of Tom.
One could have called this movie Tom and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's true.
That would have been accurate.
It's mostly that, honestly.
I'm now picturing a version of Sonic Adventure where like you're cycling through your 6 character options, but then once you do all 6 of them, the bonus level is Tom.
Tom. Yeah. Yeah, right. You have like you have like all the fun levels, and then once you beat them, you go to the special Tom planet where you paint his house. And then depending on how much paint you get on, you get extra points. You drive a car slowly. 50, 60 miles an hour, maybe.
You point a radar gun just at nothing. Turtles, whatever you want.
Yeah, you sneak into a building using your police officer credentials.
From 2 states away.
Yeah, I'm the dumbest person with your what is clearly like a bag full of contraband or something. It's amazing that building's still standing. Okay. Let's talk about the story. Let's start spoiling it.
Okay.
By the way, it was directed by Jeff Fowler, who, if people don't recognize his name, it's because he did nothing. He did a movie called a short called Gopher Broke about a gopher. He also is a visual effects person on Where the Wild Things Are, but that's about it. Not saying like anything specific. I've no judgment on that, but just something to consider. This was written by also a couple people that have not written all that much. And yeah, that's kind of it. It was written by the writer of Animal House's Dorm Days, or National Lampoon's Dorm Days. So yeah. Okay. What's the prologue? Let's start with the prologue. That's really important. We can kind of zoom through a lot of other bullshit, but we need to establish what Sonic's whole deal is, and also what everything else is going on in this world. Diggins, you want to take this?
Sure. So the prologue, which, as I've mentioned several times before, never comes up again, other than the concept of rings, is that Sonic as a baby Sonic, just like the baby nut we all love.
Oh, baby nut.
It lives on an unnamed island with his mom, an owl named Longclaw. And he has to hide his power, or she tells him he has to hide his power, because if people know he has this power, then people are going to want it. And Sonic's like, pshaw, but at that exact moment, knock, knock, it's Knuckles, his dad.
Is that who that is?
I mean,
it's
I don't know
definitely
that
part
it's
of his clan or something.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know that it's specifically Knuckles' dad. It's clearly a bunch of echidnas, like Knuckles is an echidna.
Right.
They bust in and are like, "Yo, we want that power." So his owl mom and him have to escape, but the echidnas shoot his mom with an arrow, and I guess she dies.
We never see her get... well, we see her get shot once, but then, like, we don't see the aftermath after Sonic leaves. She just guards the portal, and she's like, run, Sonic. And so it's like she could be alive if she took them all on and fucking just wiped them.
Yeah, if only this had ever come up again, maybe we could have found out. But yeah, so she gives him the bag of rings, and it's like, you need to go to a different world, and just anytime someone finds out about you, just keep running, because you'll never be safe.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty messed up thing to tell a child, but okay.
Yeah, right?
Right?
That's like some frozen Elsa shit. Elsa, never use your powers, or never feel, because then you'll fuck us all.
Yeah. It has a similar it has similar intro to that. I feel like it's like that mixed with like Paddington. It's like, here, little child, go on an adventure. One of your relatives is dead. You know nothing of the human world, but still, if you're cute enough, they might like you anyway. How old would you say Sonic is in this movie?
Oh, I really have no idea.
Because time passes, right?
7?
Well, if he's
Yeah.
his canonical age, then he's 15.
Okay. I could see that. Well, I could almost see that. I think he's a little younger than 15 in this movie.
Yeah, he seems like a little younger. I'm just saying, canonically,
Yes,
Sonic
yes,
is 15.
For sure.
I'd go with like 7.
I would say 12. I'd say, thank God he hasn't hit puberty yet, but I would say he's prepubescent, this character of Sonic. But that's just a guess. Not like a guess, but that's just like, who knows?
That's true. If he was a pubescent teen in his 15, like at 15 or so, he definitely would have been like, "Hey, can we stop at any Hedgehog strip clubs on the way to
Yeah.
San Francisco?"
That would be
great.
terrifying.
And then so he goes. Okay, so a lot of things are established. One, Sonic has superpowers. They are inherent to Sonic, and he seems to access the Sonic Force in a way that no one else in his environment can. That's new, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Typically, it's just he runs good. He's a run good boy. That's pretty much it.
Cool.
Good boy. Or a good run boy.
Second thing that's new, Sonic is the only hedgehog, it seems like, or at least like the last of his species. That also seems new.
But we just kind of never get into it. He never really seems curious if there are other hedgehogs, and we just never talk about it.
We bump into him from time to time, right? We got
No, you mean in
obviously
this movie, right?
Right,
I mean
right.
in the
I'm
movie,
talking about
yes.
in the movie compared to in the canon of Sonic usually. Like, I'm saying, like, it's weird that he seems to be the only hedgehog, and yeah, that's not, like, treated in any interesting way.
Like, right, okay.
Well, I mean, it's just we don't spend any time in the Sonic world, really. Like, that description is about as long that I gave is about as long as that scene lasts in the movie.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Maybe there were a bunch of hedgehogs that just don't run good like Sonic, and we just didn't see them.
Very possible. Next thing, Sonic lives in, like, so the echidnas are bad, it seems like. They want his power too, but they're also kind of like I don't even know what you describe them as, like tribal or something.
They're vaguely coded as like tribal, which is kind of I don't know how I feel about that.
What's Knuckles usually? Like,
He's an echidna.
Right. But is he like normal, like just like kind of like Sonic, or is he like from a completely different society?
He lives on an island.
Yeah, Knuckles lives on Angel Island, where he guards the Master Emerald. And guarding the Master Emerald is an ancient duty of the echidnas, but Knuckles is kind of the last. Like, there's not other echidnas hanging around Knuckles, typically.
He's actually the last of his kind.
So do you think in a future movie we'll see this, like the end of this scene where the owl just kills all but one echidna, raises it on an island like in Huntress and the Birds of Prey? Like,
I imagine that's the natural progression.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, when we get to the post-credits scene, I'm going to have thoughts.
And then, okay.
Samesies.
Only other thing, we've touched on this a lot. The rings are sling rings. You can teleport. If you hold it, throw it, and think about where you want to go and stuff, then you can go there. it can go from place to place or like world to world, or it seems like almost dimension to dimension.
And you don't have to have ever been there. You don't have to know what it looks like, really. You can look at a picture, not even a picture of it, like a drawing that vaguely seems to represent that thing, and that's good enough to go there.
Yep.
And Sonic has a map of all the planets. Did anyone get a good look at that?
Yep.
I did not. Okay.
So I didn't get a good look at it. I saw it. So there's whatever planet he's on, which is Forest. There's Mushroom one, which we'll get to. Earth, and then there's the one that's the bonus level that's just a sphere made of checkerboard. I think there were 2 others that I was trying to see if there was anything interesting about, but neither of them jumped out as like, oh, casino planet or whatever, or underwater planet. Those are the 2 I was looking for and couldn't find. So then Sonic goes into hiding on Earth. What does he do on Earth?
He just fucks around in Montana.
Yeah, he's just taking a gap year.
Reading comics.
It's like a gap decade.
Playing ping pong against yourself. So this is where we get kind of this thing. I would say the thing that not like surprised me, that was interesting. Sonic seems to have multiple personalities, or he stages complicated scenes that he acts out for himself, which is manifested a little bit in his playing ping pong against himself, but like more in the baseball scene.
Oh, the baseball scene, he seems like he's got like 7 heads in there.
Yeah, what's he up to in that? What would you say? Is he improving it, or is it actually like scripted in his mind? Did he bring all those hats?
I think he's improving it. I think it's supposed to be a representation of how lonely he's gotten. Mm-hmm. That this is the sort of thing he resorts to feel like there's more people there.
That makes sense.
The only thing that'll make me feel.
And he does a good baseball, and he wins. Like he's like, wins his game of baseball against himself, and then he gets kind of bummed about that, and then he causes an EMP by running very, very fast.
But
he,
like also getting
up
emotional.
Blue. Yes,
it seems like his EMP is like emotion based as well.
That's right.
It would interesting.
He has like not like the Phoenix Force, but like that kind of thing where like if you let your emotions go crazy, then you kill everybody. But, I mean, no one told him that. Probably would have been useful information.
Thanks, Longclaw.
Write it on the back of the map, Longclaw. It's like important things about me. Does anyone want to take a crack at describing Tom?
He's a small-town cop who's bored as shit.
He likes donuts.
Right? And he talks to donuts, yeah. I guess it's a pretty key part of his character.
Is that a reference to Rings?
Oh, I didn't catch that if it was.
That one I couldn't figure out. But part of me was like, oh, maybe it's like he likes rings. Sonic likes rings. The rings are teleporting.
I feel like if that was meant to be a connection, they would have explicitly drawn attention to it. This is not a movie for subtlety.
That's fair, although the pretzel thing made it by you guys, so maybe some stuff made it by me too. Who knows?
That is true.
Yeah, but I'm a moron.
Yeah, I feel a damn
fair,
fool.
Fair. So then we got Tom. He's boring. He's got a wife. He wants to go to he wants to be a cop in San Francisco because it matters to him. Is he from Green Hill? I forget.
Yeah, because they were like Malinowski. No, not Malinowski. That's a politician.
Wachowski or something.
Wachowski's been protecting Green Hills ever since the town was founded.
That's right. So yeah, so he so he goes to he gets a job at San Francisco. He takes it. It's where the sister lives.
He doesn't have it yet. They're like, you're pending a background check. We've accepted you. That's true. But assuming he thinks he's got it. He's like made up his mind. I'm going. He's practicing his speech to donuts. He's like, deal. Yeah, because he's like, well, I mean, I've never done a bad thing in my life, so why wouldn't I pass the background check? He's just an all-American guy, you know? Mm-hmm. Like I said, you look at him and you're like, that's my dad or my brother or some other safe male authority figure in my life. Then he bumps into Sonic because okay, so then Dr. Robotnik gets into the picture. We've talked about this a little bit. DJ, can you explain his whole deal? How he gets brought into everything? Yeah, like the guy, I guess, who runs the Pentagon, whatever that equivalent is. It's a weird council of smart people, and they're like, oh, EMP. It's not the Russians. It's not a giant generator exploding. It's something unknown. Maybe alien. And then the Pentagon lead guy is like, hey, there's this guy with 5 PhDs. Why don't we get him on it? And everyone's like, no, he sucks. And everyone says,
Too bad, I'm in charge of the Pentagon. Robotnik's on it. Very weird way to get him introduced into the action. But that's how it happens. I guess he's like a contractor or a consultant.
It's not really clear exactly what he is.
Yeah, I don't know what his skill is besides having drones. Like, everything that he does, I feel like the government has, right? They have investigators. They have drones. Like, I don't know what he brings to the table that's so special.
I have no idea.
I mean, he can do
5 PhDs? I don't know.
He does the he does the science necessary to understand the sonic stuff once they get his little quill. But before that, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's really a him problem. It really seems like he either is blackmailing this guy or is related to this guy. And this guy's just looking for an excuse to make this a Robotnik level threat. Because he's also just impossible to work with. He's the worst person ever.
Oh, yeah, he's a nightmare. But that's why he's a team of 2. And Stone just makes lattes and gets dunked on. It's not like Robotnik's got a team of guys that he embarrasses. He's got one guy.
Right.
At least it's clear why everyone hates him. I wasn't confused by the notion of why everyone wanted to be disassociated with him.
Yeah, he shows up immediately and I'm like, oh, he's a huge dick. Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah, and he's like, and even he is a dick, so people don't like him, and people are inefficient, unlike robots, so he doesn't like people. So
oh my god,
there's nothing for him there.
Does he want to fuck all of his robots?
No, he calls them his children, you sicko.
Oh, well, I don't know. I got some weird, like, all right, well, we won't go down that route.
I think we already did, and we kind of ended there, and then we
some
all know
reverse
exactly
Oedipus, am I right?
Yeah. The weird thing about him, I think, so he's like, he's a big jerk, and he's able to, like, pull every card possible to, like, get all of the military clearance he needs and whatever, and he'll, like, dunk on a general for no reason. But then, when Tom eventually becomes part of the story, and Sonic is hiding out at Tom's house, he's very coy. He doesn't go barging in and say, I'm Dr. Robotnik, I have, here's a note for the president, and from this guy, I get to go in your house and look for Sonics. He, like, pretends to not be him, which is weird.
Yeah.
Right? That's really
I
strange.
don't know. Yeah, he's acting like he doesn't have the authority to just, like, go into the house. But, yeah, like, the Pentagon told him to go do this. And they, like, set up a military perimeter. There's probably, like, martial law going on. It seems like he could go just, like, hey, I'm part of the government response to this thing. Let me into your house, please. And, like, what's Tom gonna say? Like, no, government.
I mean, it's not like Robotnik has guys with him. You know what I mean? He doesn't have, like, an army of soldiers like, we're coming in. Like, he could just do exactly what I did and say, nah, bitch, you ain't coming in. I don't care who you're with.
Oh, but he could bring the soldiers.
No, he didn't. Did he have any with him?
Well, like, he got the ones that... Wouldn't he have been like, okay, I'm taking over. I have all your soldiers now to, like, do my bidding. I'm in charge. He doesn't, like, fire them all. He's just, like, in charge of them now.
That's true.
He could make Neil McDonough do it. That would be a scene for him to be in.
Oh, God.
Maybe
I guess he didn't do, like, a true show of force. I don't know.
Maybe it was because he just didn't respect the intelligence of the God-loving people of the American Midwest. You know, he was like, I'm a big coastal elite, and I don't think that people of the people in the rural communities of our great country are worth anything. So I'm just gonna go and treat them like an idiot because that's what I think of them. But Tom was like, nah, people in the Midwest are good people, and they're also smart, even though you think we're stupid. So I know that something is happening here. You shouldn't underestimate me, coastal elite.
And then he punches him in the face.
Yeah, that's what I think of you eggheads who think they're better than us.
That would have been so good if he's like, God. Man, I'm tired of you eggheads. You know, we should start calling you the Eggmen. Get out of here, Eggman.
That would have been the worst, DJ. That would have sucked so bad.
Was it worse than what actually happened?
Just his drones happened to look like eggs.
Yeah, like, at least Egghead, Eggman, okay. They're, like, kind of derivative.
Yeah, I feel like, the thing with him, if he does feel like he feels like what would be the sniveling villain in a Michael Bay movie. You know what I mean? Like the guy who comes in and he's like, oh, excuse me, little Sam Witwick. It's pretty much just Transformers 1 when you really get down to it.
I'll take that.
The end. I just noticed it's Transformers 1. And you know what? It's fine.
Sonic didn't pee anywhere, though. That's like one of the biggest.
He did a big old fart.
Missing.
It's right up there.
Bumblebee, stop lubricating the man.
Yeah.
Pee humor's fun.
Okay, so then they go on a little road trip to run away from him. Anything exciting before that? And their road trip is just they drive for a little bit, stop at a rest stop, fight a car, and then they're there. There's not that much to it.
Like, there's the whole bar sequence, which is odd, and it was just put there for time purposes, because everything's so urgent, and then it's so not urgent. That's the other thing. Eggman might be bad at his job, given the amount of time he has to find Tom and Sonic, given such little distance, because it's not like it's Sonic running, they're going in a truck, and how long they fuck around in just, like, a bar town. They stay at a hotel overnight. Did he use a credit card? Like... Was he all cash? Like, wouldn't he have? I don't know.
Yeah, they did stay at a hotel.
They
There's
stay at
cameras.
Sorry. Yeah, they stay at a motel, and like watching TV in the motel, they like see a national news report about how he's like the most wanted terrorist in the country, and he doesn't like, the motel owner saw my face. Maybe we should go. He's just like, it's fine, and then it is.
Well, and then, okay, it's probably a day plus trip, right? You figure driving from Montana to San Francisco.
From Montana to San Francisco? It's more than that, right?
Yeah.
Do I have to get on the Google Maps right now?
Why can't Sonic get there on his own?
Oh, he could.
Right?
He doesn't know where it is.
He doesn't know where it is.
Yeah.
He tries to run west and ends up in the Pacific Ocean.
But we know what Sonic time looks like, right?
Oh, which is bullshit in its own right, but whatever.
He runs in bullet time, basically. And so then it's I know. So then it's just look at the road signs, dude. Get on this road and go to this road. What's stopping you from doing this yourself?
Listen, guys, look, we all saw, God, what movie was that in?
X-Men Days of Future Past.
We all saw Days of Future Past. We all saw that Quicksilver scene. We all thought it was cool. We fucking get it, okay? You don't have to put it in every single movie where a person runs fast now.
Yeah.
You can do things that are different. It's fine.
But could they, though? I don't know. I think they couldn't. I don't know what they would have done. I do think the race at the end is kind of the opposite. Not the opposite, but the other way you do it, which is just have them both be fast. And that works way better than slow down time, but it does get.
I don't know, but then it's kind of boring because then it's just they're just running at a speed that's relatively slower than we've seen him running up until this point, just by virtue of how we're seeing it. Because Eggman is also fast now, so now he just seems like he's running normal.
Yeah. How would you do this if you were in charge of this movie?
I don't know. I guess my big problem with that is it's not what's fun about being fast. What's fun about being fast is when he, I don't know, the ping pong thing where he's running back and forth, playing both sides of a ping pong table. That's a fun demonstration of this guy's so fast, he can just do whatever. But everyone else being slow and you just walking normally and doing things is a cool way in some ways to demonstrate oh wow, this guy's super fast. But if it's the only thing you're really doing, then it doesn't seem like he's fast. It seems like he has time-slowing powers. And that's a different thing.
Yeah, and I feel like Sonic the game, and especially the games that have existed, the ones that I played, I don't know about the originals, but kind of. They had a lot of acrobatics too. Sonic would jump from thing to thing. So that would kind of be the fun of him, is he would run pretty fast, but then he'd also do a bunch of fun little aerial maneuvers. So the bullet time doesn't really make that quite as fun. It would be more fun to just watch him do those things as opposed to just running on a street and then on a pyramid and then on the Great Wall of China and then back to the place from the beginning, of course, because why not?
I have an update for you guys.
Yes?
So it's about a 20-hour drive from Lewistown, Montana, which is smack dab in the middle of Montana. So we're just taking it right in the middle to San Francisco. It's 1,192 miles. It's 1,200 miles.
Yeah, you can do that in 2 days, they do.
Yeah. But Sonic could do 1,200 miles probably in 3 seconds.
Something like that. Yeah. You could do it very quickly.
He literally runs, in the movie, he runs from Montana to the Pacific Ocean in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucked up, right, guys?
Pretty fucked up.
There's a curse. Did it.
Well,
okay.
hey, we didn't commit to not doing curses. We just pointed out that.
I just like pointing it out. No, I just like yeah, it is. It's a very silly movie.
It is. And then they go to, well, okay, so two things happen before the very end of the movie. There's a fight between Sonic and the truck, and then a smaller little motorcycle thingy, and then the little one-wheeler. What'd you think of that?
Well, that was okay. I enjoyed Robotnik in that scene.
Yeah.
Kind of reacting to them, because I guess there's cameras on his robots. That was fun.
And I like that he just has like drone after drone after drone after drone, right? Like it's not that he has one, because it would be boring if he had one little egg drone and that just did everything. So it was like, oh, he has a little car, and then the car has a little dirt bikey thing in it and whatever. So, you know, changes things up a little bit. They all do the same thing, but at least they look different.
Yeah. Well, the last one doesn't do the same thing. The last one is just a bomb.
Yeah. That's right. I forgot about the bomb part.
Which the redesign makes a lot funnier, because in the original design, that was horrible. He doesn't have gloves. His hands are just, the fur on his hands is just white, and it's awful. But in this scene, the little bomb, the final form of the robot that's chasing them, sticks to Sonic's hand and won't come off. And he's like, oh no, it's going to blow up and we're going to die. But with the redesign, it's not stuck to his hand, it's stuck to his glove, which he could just take off.
No, that's his hand, Diggins. His hand is made of like a glove-like material.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think
horrible to contemplate.
Yeah.
I mean, but we do see another appendage of Sonic's in this movie.
Whoa, this is some R-rated podcast
feet,
if I've
right?
ever heard it.
Yeah, we see them Sonic feet.
Oh, I hate that you got close to the microphone for that. Oh.
That's true. Sonic.
We get a good old peek at Sweetie's feeties.
Oh, all right. Now you need to floss just right into the Atlantic Ocean. Just floss in the direction of the Atlantic Ocean and don't stop till you get there.
It'd take a while. I'd have to go over all of Long Island.
All right, well, Hudson River then. Just floss right in the Hudson River. Can we do that?
Actually, that is very close.
All right, good. Then go floss right over there.
So Sonic goes, and he does, and they almost die, but he doesn't. Very good. But then they go to a fun little house, and
also Sonic gets very insulted by the idea that Tom would leave Green Hills for some reason.
Oh yeah, he gets really butthurt. He's like, "No, you can't leave. What about movie night?" And Tom's like, "Movie night? What?" Sonic spies on Tom's family.
He's like, Sonic, I'm not literally abandoning all of my friends and family. We will live on the same planet, and I will still get to talk to and see them. I'm just going to a different part of the planet to fulfill some of my dreams, and it's not that weird a thing where we come from.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Sonic,
I guess
he should be slightly more social, I feel like, considering how much he's just observed people. Seems
but
to
he doesn't
get
talk
things.
to anyone, right? Like,
This is kind of something about Sonic in this movie in general. It's not clear how aware he is of Earth or not.
Yeah.
Because there's
Right.
times where he, like, flosses or makes a pop culture reference, and it's like, it seems like he's completely just acclimated to Earth. But then at another point, he's like, whoa, what's that glass box? Do you use it to teleport? And it's like, it's a payphone, Sonic.
That was a cute line though, where it's like, "What do you do that? What's that for?" And he's like, "It's mostly for drug dealers." That's a cute line. Also, okay, so then they go do some weird scene at like a dive bar or like a roadhouse. It's a weird little scene.
yeah, they
so
somehow
this is before the robot fight.
Yeah, I
actually,
know.
but-
I kind of did it out of order. I
they
forgot.
somehow
That's
could
fine.
convince a very ignorant waitress that Sonic isn't like an alien, which is
Sonic
what he
has a
is.
skin condition.
Yeah,
and he's a short person. Like,
I'm okay with skin condition as just a way to like be like skin. That's always been the thing, right? Like the Grinch had a skin condition, not that because he did have a skin condition, but a lot of the
At least he
times
was-
that's how you get the Ninja Turtles in and out of somewhere, and like, you know,
Sure.
I'm okay with that. I think it's cute.
It just felt so out of place given the context, but sure. It's fine.
Well, even like the bit where she's like, we can't serve him. He's a child. And he's like, no. He's a 40-year-old man with his skin condition. It's like, okay, so
Can we see
I
some
guess he
ID?
has an ID then. Yeah. He probably gets this a lot. So can we see his ID?
Actually, he never says that Sonic's an adult. He just says he's a skin condition and like some disease.
I thought he said he
she's
was
just like,
40. Am I not right? I don't know where.
Oh,
maybe
he
I
might have.
imagined
Actually,
that.
you might be right.
Yeah, I
don't
think he
remember.
drops an age that is unbelievable. Considering, like, it's not, he's definitely not a 40-year-old. He's 12. Like, we know how old he is. Ben Schwartz isn't even 40. So I don't know why couldn't he just be like, he's 25, but he's weird? I don't know. They go play darts. He does the mechanical pull. For some reason, that was weirder to me than most of the other parts of the movie.
The weirdest part of the bar scene to me was how much of it is spent on line dancing.
I loved watching him line dance. It was adorable. I don't know why. Just watching him try to line dance with regular-sized people made me really happy. I loved it.
I feel like this movie, and you have to change the whole thing so it won't work, but I feel like there's a part of this movie where, couldn't this be the Sonic that everyone's used to? Like one of the versions of Sonic's where he's in the world with regular people, or in that one anime where he like traverses dimensions.
You mean Sonic X?
Yes, thank you. So it's like, oh yeah, Sonic's a thing, and then you get the fun scenes with him line dancing, and he doesn't have to be in a weird trench coat, and it's all, kind of clandestine. But
Well, that seems like that would be the sequel, because now everyone in Green Hills knows about
that's
him.
true. That's true. And they all love him now.
That's
and
right.
Crazy Carl was right.
He's just regular. Carl also, he
Yeah, he is
chainsaw
gonna be Crazy
Carl now or something. I don't know. Yeah, and then he gets in a big old fight. That's kind of fun. That's where they do the time in a bottle bit, which is, pretty played out by now, but whatever.
Super played out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a bunch of bikers come over to Tom and Sonic and are like, we don't like your kind over here.
And it's like, what kind?
Immigrants.
Yeah, wait, what?
No. He said hipsters.
It was hipsters, right, yeah. And I'm like, are they, though? What do you guys think a hipster
I guess
is?
Sonic looks weird, and one could think that that makes him a hipster, I guess.
Yeah.
But Tom is just your all-American man.
Yeah.
You look at him and you feel like, yes, this is the America I know, and hot dogs, hamburgers, fireworks on the 4th of July, that kind of thing. The opposite of a hipster.
What would you have him be? What would you have them? I mean, you could just start the fight because they, do something dumb. You can just bump into people at a bar. That's usually enough.
Or what if he said, like, we don't like your kind, aliens? Like, we're not aliens. It's like, yeah, you are. Punch. All right, whatever.
I really thought he was going to say, we don't like your kind here. Hedgehogs.
Yeah.
First of all, sir, excellent hedgehog detection skills.
Yeah.
Not would have been my first guess. That would not have been my first guess. But second of all, what a weirdly specific thing to not want in your bar.
It's like, we hate them. They're all spiny and fast, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We hate them run good boys.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You know what it should have been? We don't like your kind here. Cops.
I was thinking about that.
That would have been good.
Well, cops are like, at that point, they're not international terrorists yet, but I don't know. Maybe just have them be that by that point in the movie or whatever. I don't know.
Well, then they wouldn't have stopped in the bar. Whatever. I don't know what they would have done. This movie's so inconsistent about what
later. It seems like if they had known that part, they would have been more accepting. Because when Robotnik shows up and is like, "Tell me about the fugitives," the big biker guy who started the fight is like, "I don't talk to the government."
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
And then they imply that Robotnik is secretly jacked because he throws the guy through the window.
Yeah. Well, it almost felt to me like he was like he was secretly jacked and he had like complete pressure point like kung fu. I don't know what his deal was. It was pretty good though. He's pretty awesome. This Robotnik fella.
He got beat up by bullies, so maybe he like really channeled that into some gnarly powers.
Yeah. Okay. Then they go to San Francisco and they fight. Okay. So then they go to San Francisco, and that's where we meet the sister in real life for the first time. And
she's the worst.
She really is the worst. And it's funny.
Okay, but at this point, though, she's seen a bunch of news reports about how her sister's husband is literally the worst terrorist of all time.
Right.
She felt that way before.
Yeah, it's
Sure,
almost
she
like
felt that
she
way
always
before.
thought he was the worst terrorist of all time, and that's why she didn't like him. I knew it. I was waiting, but we knew he would get caught eventually being the worst terrorist of all time.
I'm just saying, like, completely obnoxious and annoying before, and clearly that's how she's always felt. But when the dude is on the news 24/7 as, like, mega terrorist, then you're like, okay, you know what? Maybe she has a point in with the information available to her, not thinking this guy is so great.
Yeah. Yeah. We meet, I guess, like the niece of the. Because
little
they're
girl.
married, right? Tom and wife?
They're married.
Yes.
Yeah. So then we meet the niece, and the niece is like, "Hey, I am nice," and she gives Sonic shoes, and
The sick Pumas.
they're really nice. Apparently, you can't buy them; they're not selling them. What the hell?
Oh,
Damn. They really messed up that product placement, unlike the Olive Garden. Who
Right.
nailed it.
I was about to say, I wanted to talk about that SpawnCon because
I
I was
know.
like irate at the end, not the beginning one. The end one, I was like, what the fuck?
The beginning one was worse. At least the end one was a joke.
So much worse.
We could talk about it. Or not. I don't care. I just wanted to put it out there.
No, we have to talk about
Yeah.
the Olive Garden product
Okay.
placement because it was so bad.
So yeah, DJ, explain us the first bit with the cell phone.
So there's one like joke where they're like, "Oh, we got to go to the Olive Garden," and then it's the wife and the husband, Tom and Pretzel Lady, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Olive Garden," because when you're there, and she goes, "Your family."
Oh,
Or
it's
maybe
so
the
much
other way
weirder
around.
than that. So the specific context for this is it's like, she's like, do you use, first of all, because I think they're trying to find houses in San Francisco, and then she's like, I'll just go on Zillow.com. And I think maybe,
And then she turns her computer to the screen.
Yeah.
That's just a perfect shot of Zillow that stays on screen for like 5 solid seconds.
Yeah,
And then
some
maybe-
other SpawnCon.
that might lead right into, I forget what it is specifically, but she's looking for an app. And she's like, you have this app on your phone? He's like, I don't have any apps on my phone except for the Olive Garden app.
right.
Because when you're here, your family.
Family.
Like, what does the Olive Garden app do?
I totally forgot about the
Orders
app
you
presets.
Olive Garden?
Actually, you're right.
To
I hate
your
it more
table
now.
at Olive Garden?
So yeah, I hate it more now because I first thought it was a one-liner, but now you're right. It was a whole thing. Oh,
So
fuck
much
this
worse.
No, this movie's fine. It's fine.
It's great. I mean, no, I loved it. But yeah, it's like, I don't know if you could go to Olive Garden and buy a specific Sonic, spaghetti. I don't know if you could go on Zillow.com.
God, I hope
and
they
rent-
have like blue breadsticks or something.
Right? Well, that's weird too.
Or
'cause
like chili dog pasta.
if you're doing SpawnCon, which go for it, there's nothing wrong with it.
Sponsored content. I realize I've been saying that, but that's what that stands for. Sponsored content.
And yeah, like we've talked, I'm sure, this comes up a lot because a lot of movies have this. And I get it. You want to make your movie. Sometimes you want to, especially if you want to completely redesign your Hedgehog from scratch before you fire all your animators, which way to go, whoever made this movie. But if you want to do that, sometimes you need to do sponsored content. And it's stupid, but it's harmless. Like, I don't think Olive Garden got complete script control, and this is all they changed. But usually what
Also,
you do get
Olive
out...
Garden, if you're looking for people to spawn con, I mean,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
we'll sell out.
I haven't been to an Olive
fuck
Garden in a
yeah.
while, but I'm sure I would mostly be fine with it. I'm not a big pasta guy, but it's fine. But usually the best thing you get out of it is some really awkward tie-ins where it's like a Fantastic Four Denny's menu where you can get the Thing Burger. And I really wish, I would buy those shoes in a second. They'd cost way too much money, but I'd still think about it at least. But I wish we got something like that. Some sort of speedy delivery, Olive Garden, something. I don't know what it would be, but real missed opportunity.
I'm shocked they didn't have any tie-ins with the fast food chain Sonic.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Too on the nose. Or they just did not want to be bothered because they already know. This
Or
comes
maybe
up all the time.
Sonic took one look at the first design and was like, we're good.
No, thank you.
However, I want to say at one point in this movie we do get a reference to the Fast and Furious movies.
We do.
I was wondering if that would happen before I saw it, and that was fine.
So they're in the car, and Sonic's driving, and he's like, "Oh, I finally feel like Vin Diesel. It's all about family, Tom."
Yeah.
Oh, shit, he does say that. I remember that now.
Which, like, speaking of Fast and Furious, I was watching the Harley Quinn show, which I love, which we've talked about a couple times, but I might make a video about just not even fixing it, just how much I love it. And at one point, they make a Fast and Furious reference, and it's so much better. Like, they're trying to steal a motorcycle, and they're like, how are we going to do it? And she's like, we'll do like a Fast 7 where we'll jump it out of this one and into this one. And it really made me go like, man, if they did go really hard into like some really deep Fast and Furious cuts in the Sonic movie, I would have been so there for it. It would have made me so immediately endeared to this stupid movie. But hey, man, nobody's perfect.
I will say, though, so right before they get to San Francisco is when the bomb blows up and Sonic looks like he might be dead.
Yeah, Sonic dies a lot in this movie.
I don't know about you guys, but the children in my theater were very upset that Sonic might be dead.
That's great.
You know what's weird? There were, like, no children in my theater. There were some behind, but they seemed mostly bored because they didn't do anything. I
went on Valentine's Day purely for the joke, and it was basically me and a bunch of children and their parents, and that was it.
Actually, you know what? I remember I asked earlier about a Sonic stand. I sat next to a Sonic stand. I sat next to someone who was, like, jacked up the entire movie. Oh. He was so amped. He was clapping at the end. Oh, when the end thing happens, he lost his shit. But he was, like, at a 10 the whole time.
Talk about theaters.
The whole time.
There was a guy at my theater who was, like, an adult-age person who had several Sonic Funko Pops. However, also at my theater, so I used to, if I can get to this theater, I always sit in the wheelchair seat. So it's the seat farthest in the back with nobody near it, and it's great. Not like a wheelchair seat, but the wheelchair adjacent seat. If someone with a wheelchair came, I would give it to him, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, sure you would.
Yeah, that's
Don't lie about your stated intentions, Nando.
Fair. I'd be like, hey,
don't lie about your
that person also has a wheelchair seat, so maybe kick them out, please. But there was a family that split up, 3 kids, 2 adults, and the 3 kids just sat in front of me the whole time, and they were talking and taking out their phones, and every time they did it, the parents would be like, shut up, and take the phone from them. It was awesome. These kids were quiet and well-behaved, and I was so proud of these parents.
Savage.
Yeah.
You don't see that nowadays.
I know. More of them should do that. Because these kids really did shut up because it really only happened twice. First time, kid takes out phone, parent takes phone. Second time, about 15 minutes into the movie, kids started getting bored because it's boring. And then they they started talking. Also, this movie starts at the end of the movie. We didn't talk about that, but it's I hated that so
least
much.
Favorite trope.
Yeah, me too. I'm really tired of it.
Like, if you're going to do that, there should be a reason you do it. Not just so you can be like, look at this exciting thing. Look forward to that later.
Yes, I agree. Although the beginning of this movie... And the beginning of this movie has, like, Sonic-iness in it. It's not like Sonic doesn't show up for the first 30 minutes. It's like, well, we got to remind kids Sonic's here. It's mostly Sonic in the beginning. So that was weird.
Yeah, it doesn't become the Tom movie until later.
Yeah. All right, so then we're at the end of the movie, pretty much. They go to this place, get the rings, and then Dr. Robotnik shows up. Dr. Robotnik, via dancing, has learned the secret of the Sonic Quill, which is that it's a very strong conductor or something.
It has unlimited energy.
Yeah, it gives you access to the Sonic Force.
Sonic could, like, solve the energy crisis.
Yeah.
Where does he find the quill again? On the baseball field? He just gets it?
No, it's the one at the beginning of the movie. Tom just finds it, like, by the side of the road and brings it home. Which, by the way, they have this whole thing where it's like Robotnik finds the quill in Tom's house, and it's like, aha, this proves that you were lying to me, and the alien creature is really here. But that's not a quill that was there because Sonic was there. That's a quill he found by the side of the road. He could just be like, I found that by the side of the road, and he wouldn't even be lying.
Yeah, and he could just be like, I don't know what this is. Like, I guess this is maybe related to your alien thing, but, like, I don't know, dude. Do you want it? It doesn't, like, it's fine. There's no, he's just so coy. about all of this, and it's so he's just so bad at lying because he's good and nice and has no flaws. But anyone with any hint of how to lie would be able to get out of that situation in a heartbeat.
But again, he doesn't even have to lie. He just literally has to say, I found that by the side of the road and I thought it was weird, so I picked it up. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so then the bit with so then they go to San Francisco. They have a big race, kind of, because Dr. Robotnik has this little hover car thingy that he has.
It's like the classic one. Well, I guess the classic one's more egg-shaped, but it's like one of the ones he's in when he fights Sonic.
It's like inspired by his little hover car thing from the original games.
Like from the side, it looks like the hover car. It's just got these big giant fans on it. Not fans, I don't know what they are, but that's what's keeping it up.
Those things that VTOLs have.
What's that?
A VTOL is like a airborne vehicle that can move in all directions like a helicopter.
It's like a drone.
Sure,
you ever see a drone?
I have seen a drone. They're mostly little eggs, right, that seem to just float in the air for no reason.
They look like the bad guy from Portal, Gladys.
Yeah, Gladys. It's GLaDOS, right? There's an O in there.
GLaDOS.
You guys are on a more personal kind of like, first name basis.
It's like a double, not double entendre, but it's like a homonym. Well, anyway.
Anyway, so it's great because they fight and it's mostly just like a race. But so, okay, I was wondering about this. The rings. Sonic seems to have roughly, I would imagine, 20 rings because that's the amount of rings Sonic has. Like, if I had to guess, and it kind of looks like about 20, in this little sack that he accidentally drops.
Yeah.
And he is using them very kind of, not like willy-nilly, but like kind of willy-nilly.
A little bit.
And it doesn't make any difference, right?
What do you mean?
Like, he's using them to teleport to places, but it's like Eggman goes through those too. So it's like, I don't know, stay in the Great Wall of China. Why teleport? He's not going to places.
Oh, near the end? I mean, yeah, it is a bit, he's a bit looser with
It's a finite resource that he is burning for no reason except for just to have the movie have all those places in it.
Well, it's not really clear that it is a finite resource.
It seems to be. Well,
are there more rings?
When you throw a ring, does that ring get burnt up or not?
I don't know.
I thought it did.
I
thought it was like
did.
The ring's gone. Because doesn't his bag get a little lighter? Like the bag is one mass, and then by the end it's lighter.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
I assume you can't. I assume he has a finite amount of rings because then it would be like that's not that many rings. Honestly, why aren't the rings the thing that Robotnik's after? That's more interesting. There's two plot devices kicking around, and Sonic doesn't. That's the thing too. Sonic is the Flash in this movie, right? But he doesn't have to be. He could just be pretty fast, like faster than a human can run. But he also has these little teleporting rings, and one is used accidentally, which is what happens in the movie. And then the teleporting ring is just in San Francisco, but Eggman doesn't know where it is. So he's like, I gotta go get it. And I guess I'll have to like torture this hedgehog until he tells me where it is because it's some sort of cool thing. So like, yeah, I understand why they did it the way they did, but it does, the movie felt forced to give Sonic a reason to be super fast and cool, but he really didn't need to be when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's for them it makes a better movie from a visual perspective because oh my god, we get to do bullet time and we get to see how fast he is and do the cool street chasing scenes. Unless you're saying, well, you could do that at an average or like faster than average speed,
faster than usual, but not fast enough that it's like the best thing ever. Like just like fast enough that it's like cool to watch, but not because they've done stuff like that on The Flash where it's like, oh my god, he's so fast, nothing is happening in the world around him, and then it's like, okay, then why are we doing this? Make it fast enough that he can like dodge a car, but it's kind of tough for him, and then that makes the whole fight scene more fun. Because it's not like Eggman is super fast when he fights Sonic in the game. He just has good machines. He's just kind of there.
Well, that's why, like, this whole thing, like, this was based on the Sonic the Hedgehog video game. It's like, no.
Yeah.
It was not at all.
So then there's a race. The end of the movie happens. They go back to Green Hill Zone. That bit's kind of fun-ish. I don't know.
Yeah, Robotnik gets, they ring back there, right? They Sonic ring back.
That's right. Like the ring back tones we all know.
It's so funny how much?
Yeah, that's
We're just sending each other back and forth pictures of Sonic.
Yeah, we're just
of Eggman.
Of Eggman, and this is a good cosplay.
To be
This
fair,
is a really good cosplay.
yeah,
like
Michelle's
genuinely.
doing it. We're not really doing it, but
Yeah,
we're
Michelle
enjoying
is
them.
doing an Eggman cosplay. Look for it at the next convention.
Here's something.
Yeah.
So they do a. I think this is so cute. They do a whatchamacallit, the Green Goblin on the Brooklyn Bridge bit, right? Where
We're
they
New Yorkers, except we're actually Green Hillians. We aren't those coastal elites who look down on us New Yorkers. We're the heart and soul of this country, and we don't appreciate smart Alex like you, egg person, coming in and telling us how we should do things when we're the people who really know what this country's about.
That cop almost shoots Eggman in the head.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, only 3 inches from
Yeah,
like 30 feet
like
away.
I said, American values, like cops summarily executing people in the streets.
you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. I like how he makes the other guy put his chainsaw away too. Like no, that's
No,
very
Carl,
dangerous. Let me use
stop
my
it.
my gun.
Let me just shoot this man from the government in the head.
Yeah, this guy who should be
my
a public figure, one assumes. And then what happens? Well, I guess Sonic dies for a second or third time.
Yeah, Sonic
Well,
fake dies.
So that happens after Eggman shot Sonic with a bunch of missiles, and it looks like he won. And he's like, now I'm going to dissect the hedgehog?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
unclear what I wanted precisely.
Well, but we learned it was dissection, which, okay.
And he's like, why do you care about it? It's an alien. And they're like, he's one of the good ones, though.
Yeah.
He
As
can
if they're
stay.
Like other ones. Not like those other bad aliens. You know the ones I mean.
Yeah.
So then Sonic gets all the powers of Sonic and does a bunch of bounces and kills Eggman. Again, this would be fun if it was in slightly slower speed, because then
You know
you
what's
could
strange? There's one line where Sonic goes, Tom, you should just roll into a ball and bounce on him to take him out, in reference to like some guy. Sonic rarely does that himself. He doesn't do his little homing attack or like any of that shit.
Yeah, he does. He kills the first car in this car fight with rolling, and then he doesn't do it for a while. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I just felt that line drop being weird. I think he says in the bar or something.
No,
But,
he says it. He says it in the car fight, like right after he does it. He's like, "You should also do it."
But what he does instead, by the way, in the car fight, is Tom takes like something like a bat and then opens the door of this moving car, hangs off of it, and tries to swing the bat at a small drone. Like, what do you? Who do you think you are? Like John McClane in the Bad Ones? You're gonna die,
it's like
dude.
Sonic went and did super speed, like having superpowers shit, and blew up the car. And then Tom's like, "Okay, now it's my turn," and like takes out a bat and starts like swinging out the car door, like, like, dude, please, know your lane. You drive the car, Sonic will blow up the robots, you know?
The movie's about Tom, so, it makes sense why he was trying to do that.
Can Sonic
It's Tom,
even
the movie.
touch the pedals?
Well, there was a block. I think he said, like, I got a block there.
Oh.
No, he
okay.
said he put it on cruise control.
Oh, that's what it was.
Right. That's
so
fair.
Sonic just needed to steer.
I'm glad they said that, and I forgot.
It's okay. I forgot to. All right. So then at the end, so were either of you guys mad? And this is if you want a real nitpick, that at no point did Eggman, with his like whatever we're calling this, like glider or hover machine, pick up a wrecking ball. I was really hoping he would get one at some point.
I, at that point, was so far gone on any movie references or any game references making it in, just because of the tenor of the movie, that I was not hoping for anything like that.
Yeah, I just wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, this is so much a different thing that it just didn't enter my mind.
It was
so
big mistake.
Here's the thing a friend of mine said, actually, in far as video game references in this movie that I didn't really think about, but maybe is what they meant. So he's like, well, if things don't work out on Earth, then I'll just go to the Mushroom Planet where everything's super boring.
Mario?
Yeah, was that supposed to be a dig at Mario?
I think
Yeah,
it was.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I was just thinking Mushroom Hill Zone, a zone in Sonic 3. So I was like, well, that's what that is.
I was
but
thinking Mario.
It could be a dig at Mario. Like, that's not impossible.
I'd
should've
call it
been like,
50-50.
Okay. Should have been like, all they do in that world is jump
Yeah, nobody runs fast. Not like me, Sonic.
and be Italian.
Yeah.
And be 20 years old.
Yeah.
Apparently, because that's how old Mario is, according to Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe he's 25 now. They may have changed it.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'm Sonic.
I'm Sonic. That should have been the whole movie, where anytime he says something, I'm Sonic. Like, why do you keep saying that? What? Isn't that what you all do? I'm Sonic.
Yeah, I am. So it's not wrong. I'm not wrong. You're Tom, the police guy. And this is Eggman or whatever. What else was I going to say? Did either of you guys think... So when Sonic powers up to do not Super Sonic, because that's a different thing. But when he gets like extra Sonic-y, he like glows blue and like makes lightning. The last time he even does that more, did either of you guys think he was going to Hulk out and turn into the werewolf? I really did. I don't know why, but it felt right for me.
No, but I wish it would have happened. Also, in the game, they do refer to it as the werehog.
Yes, that's fair. Yeah, I do. That I have heard. Which makes sense. That's how it should work.
No, it doesn't make sense, because that means man-hog. And Sonic ain't a man. He's
true.
A hog.
Hedgehog? I don't like it. Too many syllables.
He's a hog wolf.
That's right. Yeah, sure. I'll allow it. Then the movie ends. That's pretty much it, right?
We get our Olive Garden gift card.
Yeah,
our little last Spawn con.
So after they have essentially killed a government employee because they sent him to the mushroom planet, the Pentagon guy shows up and it's like, hey, I'm just here to let the audience know that it's totally cool that you murdered that government guy, and we've decided just to never talk about this again.
Here's a $50 Olive Garden gift card.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I don't know, this gets me sometimes. The Sonic Eggman fight, when it's in San Francisco, a lot of collateral damage. Buses
so much.
in the middle of the street, you would assume filled with people,
cars.
Explode into big balls of fire. Like, I get that that's Eggman being bad and doing the exploding, but still, it's kind of like, oh, Sonic, maybe don't slide under the bus. If, he's shooting at you, maybe make an effort to use those rings. This is when the ring makes sense. Not now. Not then. But hey, man, what do I know? I'm not a hedgehog.
If you don't see the people get hurt, then it
basically
didn't happen.
Yeah, what do you think people thought happened?
I mean, from their perspective, because Sonic and Robotnik were both going at super speed at that point.
Yes.
It's just basically like a tornado just like ripped through real quick. They didn't see anything.
I would assume it didn't even leave like stuff. There were some bullets, I guess, but it's firing lasers at that point. So yeah, you wouldn't even know. You would see some people falling off of a building, disappearing, and then that's kind of it. That's the end of the whole. That's the extent of what a human being would see. But okay, so then the movie ends. They're all happy. Sonic lives in their attic at the end, right?
Sonic is now their son.
Yeah, this felt like I was waiting for the conversation in retrospect. I'm like, oh, there should have been some kind of thing in the movie where it was like, hey, you want to have kids? Nope. And then they're kind of split on it, and then this is their like weird backwards like resolution. All right, Sonic's our son now.
Or like she can't have kids, but he wants to, or something. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it is because they don't have any wants or needs. The two of them, they're both on the same page the whole movie.
Yeah,
but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, even when he seems like an international terrorist, she's like, "All right, I'm willing to hear your side of this," and it's like that's like unreasonably reasonable.
Yeah. It's nice that it's the nice-looking Sonic, because then you're like, oh, he's cute, never mind. But if it was the ugly alien Sonic, it would be like, all right, something does seem up here. Maybe he's hypnotized you, because he's clearly a monster from space.
A horrible monster who should not be.
Yes, exactly. All right, two post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
DJ, you want to do the first one or the second one?
I'll let Diggins pick.
All right, Diggins, first one. It's the first post-credit scene.
I don't remember which one comes first.
The more fun one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one I want.
Yeah, okay, do that one.
Okay.
So in the first post-credit scene, we see Robotnik in the mushroom world. And he has, with a jagged bit of metal from his destroyed ship, has shaved his head for some reason.
Yeah, that was brutal. Kids in my theater did not like that.
And also his mustache has grown out, so it looks more like the Robotnik mustache now.
And
he's
changed
wearing
colors.
goggles.
It's red.
Yeah. So basically he just actually looks like Robotnik now at the end of the movie.
Yep.
What's funny is that was the shot from the trailer that got everyone to be like, "Oh my god!"
I think they put that in because they're like, if we don't show him looking like this, everyone's going to be like, why doesn't he look like Robotnik?
Yeah, I think that's
Anyway,
right.
So he is wandering around with a backpack full of mushrooms, being like, I'm going to find my way out of here because I'm a genius intellect. And then when I do, I'm going to get that hedgehog. But this was a wasted opportunity to me.
What should it have done?
Because it absolutely should have been him. Like, we see him, like, shaving his head, putting on his goggles, being like, talking about how terrible that hedgehog is. And it's like, yeah, he's a real bad guy, and I've got to get him. And then we pan over, and we see Knuckles. And Knuckles is like, all right, Eggman, let's get that hedgehog.
Yeah.
Boom. Fade to black. Sequel. The villain of Sonic 2 is Knuckles.
Not that I think that's wrong or bad. I think they're not going to go in that direction.
Oh, they're totally... That's like the big, like, Knuckles plot line, is Robotnik convinces Knuckles that Sonic's the bad guy.
Yeah.
And Knuckles spends the whole first 2 games he's in being like an accomplice villain to Robotnik because he thinks Sonic is after the Master Emerald. But then at the end, Robotnik steals the Master Emerald and Knuckles realizes he was wrong and he and Sonic team up. And that's absolutely, like, if they got any sense at all, that's the plot of the second movie.
I could see that being, I don't know, maybe?
Especially because they set up the echidnas killed Sonic's mommy, so he would also take one look at Knuckles and be like, that guy's a bad guy. So they'd fight, and then they'd learn a valuable lesson about how you can't judge other people.
Yeah, I buy it, except I do think we're getting Metal Sonic in this next one. I don't know why. It just feels like the logical next step. Robotnik's gone crazy. He decides he wants his own Sonic because that hedgehog's so great, and he uses his little sliver of Sonic to make a robot Sonic. I can't see him not doing that. Maybe you can do all 3 things. Except then you have Tails. So there, I think.
Spoiler alert!
What are you talking about, Nando? Tails hasn't been in this movie.
Well, I mean, like Knuckles has a small tail. DJ, do you want to do your second thing? The second post-credit scene.
So we're somewhere on Earth, and then there's a portal, and someone steps through, and we hear, I've been tracking him for some time, and I think I found him. And then it's Tails with like a little tracker thing, and Tails looks good.
Yep.
Tails does not look like a horrifying fox monster. Like, Tails
Also,
looks good.
He has the video game voice actor instead of being recast by a very minor celebrity for no reason.
Yeah.
Yes, which is nice.
I don't know. I like Ben Schwartz as Sonic.
Ben Schwartz does a fine job. I don't have anything against Ben Schwartz, but it's like there's no reason to recast a purely voice acting role from its dedicated voice actor who voices him in all the games and has established like brand identity for people who care. And it's also just a good voice actor and will do fine in your movie for people who don't care.
So I've heard why it is Ben Schwartz. And it has something to do with like the director of Deadpool, I think, was like, I want to do test footage for a Sonic movie. And they just got Ben Schwartz to do that specific test footage. And then when they actually started making the movie, the people in charge were like, oh, get the guy from the test footage. So it's a weird thing that he's not weird that he's there, but it's just like a random coincidence kind of that they happen to do that. Yeah. Although, to his credit, Ben Schwartz is also, he does a ton of voice acting now. It's like his main thing. He's in the Ninja Turtles show. He's in DuckTales.
He's in BoJack.
Yeah. Although,
yeah, that's true.
Everybody's in BoJack these days.
Everyone is in BoJack. Well, not anymore.
No one will ever be in BoJack again.
Thank God. No.
Whoa!
I hated it. It was the worst.
Whoa.
Instead of a horse, it should have been a Sonic.
You didn't give it a chance.
I watched the 2.5 seasons of that show. I hated the fish
BoJack.
episode. I hated it.
What?
It wasn't. The show was never for me. I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway.
Also, that's not in the first 2.5 seasons.
When is it?
The fish
Third?
episode?
I
That's
think it's
late.
season 3.
Well, it would have been I watched 2 seasons and then the 3rd season halfway into
right.
that.
I think
would have
it's
been when I
later
quit.
than 3rd season.
Really?
I think it's later than that.
Maybe I
think
even
it's
got
like
that
4th.
far then. I watched enough of it that I was like, I don't know. Bad show.
A-
Anyway, no, it's fine.
Anyway.
It's fine.
So that was when the guy next to me fucking freaked out. Michelle was also mad excited because Tails is her favorite character. But yeah, the guy next to me was like, and I was up in arms. I'm like, no, get it out of here because I didn't want any more. I'm like, this, whatever. I want a reboot. Make a Sonic movie.
not
where
getting
just
one.
going after the Chaos Emeralds, and then he turns into Super Sonic, and then it's over. I don't need all this crap, man. So I was not happy to see our beloved Tails in this movie.
That's not
We
how
can
it
see him
works,
fly
DJ.
for, like,
That's-
okay.
They all have to. It has to be a movie where a little guy went to the planet, or like a little talking guy has to team up with another human this time, and then they do a mission. That's what all these movies are. That's what all the Alvin and the Chipmunks and Detective Pikachu. There's no way we're not getting another one of those because it's cheaper to make than to have it be all CG. I imagine that's got to be
Tom the Human too. Just get a bunch of Toms.
Yeah.
Get all the Toms.
What power does Tom have? Maybe he has power
Baseball
too.
bats, cars, bar fights.
Handsome. He's handsome.
Getting your sister-in-law to hate you.
Yeah, what did he do? What's their beef? Maybe we can explore that in a sequel.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
I think you're misunderstanding though. The fundamental, like the core driver of the Sonic franchise is that every successive thing must have more friends. There must be more
So
characters.
when do we get to the rabbit and Chow? Cream? When
Cream
we
and
get
cheese?
cream? Yeah, we get cream and we get cheese and we get Chow. How long does it take to get to
No,
there?
the Chow is cheese, DJ.
Sorry, God, whatever. How long?
Let's see.
Now, how many friends can we do per movie? Yeah.
Yeah, we got to.
When do we get
formula
Avengers?
here.
I think
I
want to
know when we get the chaotics.
Oh yeah, there you
When
go.
our Espio, Charmy, and Vector.
Yeah, where's Big Cat?
Big the cat and then the robot.
Big,
one.
yes, we need big. We need big.
Yeah. I think
He
and then we got Amy. Amy's the one that I think we're going to have a real hard time with.
Ooh, Amy's gonna be rough, man.
She's
That's
Amy's
not-
actually Amy's a very early friend. Amy was in like the 3rd game ever.
Yeah, I think that yeah.
I don't know.
Was she
I
always
think it's
his
gonna be rough.
girlfriend or not like in love with him, or was that something that was developed later?
No, that was always part of it.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
Is she also a hedgehog?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
And then Rouge is a bat. We need Rouge.
Oh yeah, we need Rouge. We need other robot because there's like 102 beta and there's 103.
Oh, like the
something.
other Metal Sonics?
No, no,
E10
just
E101 Gamma.
Yep.
And E123 Omega.
Yeah, we need those guys.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
We need a lot. We need all of them.
yeah. And Esper and like, and that big dinosaur in space.
The Bio Lizard.
Yeah, the bio lizard. We need
And
that.
then
Well, that's when we introduced Shadow.
Yeah.
So
And then we need all the Sonic Boom characters. So Sonic Cowboy, Big Knuckles, Nerd Tails.
Well, yeah. And then are we gonna do like a reboot where there's like Sonic of Infinite Earths, and then there's the smaller Sonic? Because isn't that one of the games where it's like Sonic? There's Sonic missions that
Yeah.
are yeah.
there's Sonic Generations.
Yeah.
where it's classic
Yeah.
Sonic and modern Sonic, and classic Sonic is a little short and chubby.
That's right.
They even like point it out. It's kind of weird.
I think the
All
next
these
one.
guys.
I mean, the next one. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the next one will be. I mean, yours is correct. Like Diggins, yours is probably what it should be. But I mean, he has to build robots. I think he's gonna want a Sonic. But he just wants to get home, right? So does he have to build a like sling ring thingy? I guess. I don't
He's
know.
gonna find a ring in his pocket. There's gonna be some like bullshit.
Yeah,
It's like, oh look, a ring. Thank goodness.
that's definitely it.
Now he's gonna build him. He's gonna use the Master Emerald to build a machine.
Well, yeah, he could start using like Chaos Emeralds and stuff. He'll find one of those.
I want to point out also. So in the games, they can use the Chaos Emeralds to teleport,
That's true.
and then they just added a different teleportation method in this movie.
Yeah. The rings are weird. It is weird that the rings are little portals. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Well, they
but
just had
hey,
to reverse engineer a reason the rings were important, and I guess that's what they went with. But yeah.
I feel like there's like a way though to do it like the traditional, like Sonic. If you don't have at least one ring on you at all times, you'll die. Or like if you get hurt,
That would have been so silly, though.
I know, but like, wow.
I feel like this movie strongly feels like it used to be a very different movie, like when it was the first redesign. And then they did the redesign, and while doing the redesign, they also like completely recut the movie to be different. But they couldn't do any reshoots with the human actors. They could only do new things with Sonic.
Yeah.
So they had to work with what they already had as far as humans went. And so they were kind of stuck with the ring thing, which feels like an artifact from a much worse plot.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Also, why, if you do the ring thing too, you could have like, what's his name, want to marry his girlfriend and give Sonic like a wedding ring or something as like a last effort to keep Sonic alive. Eggman could want the ring.
Oh, that would be so good.
Something. Or a donut. Or you could give him a donut.
Oh, that's like a kind of ring.
Yeah, those are rings. Maybe Sonic just needs circles. Like maybe it has nothing to do with the glowiness of the ring.
As far as game references go, though, I am genuinely shocked there wasn't a moment where he was underwater and the Sonic drowning music started playing.
Well, he did do he did do the toe tap at one point.
Yep.
He had the little Konami, whatchamacallit, or not Konami, like the Sega headband. At one point, the Sega, that symbol's in there. We also had the Sonic drawing. That was fun.
Yes.
That made me chuckle. That was my first instinct. Like, oh, maybe this is going to be okay. It wasn't, but that would have been it. That was kind of it, though. There were very few references to the game. A lot more. Oh, yeah. A lot more. There was about as much Olive Garden as there was, like, Sonic Easter eggs. Good for them, man. Are you surprised at one point? Oh man! What if instead of it's because the movie ends with Sonic getting his little room with all the stuff in it. What if instead of that they went to Olive Garden and Sonic's like, "Why are you taking me to Olive Garden, Tom?" And Tom's like, "Well, when you're here, you're family."
Oh my god!
And then tie it back to Fast and Furious, and remember, it's all about family.
And then Dom comes in.
And it's like, Tom, you're a father now.
Yeah, you're father of family. It's such a
You're a father to this hedgehog from space.
It's such a good franchise. Can't wait for the new one. All right. Anything else? We got into the sequels. We loved it. It was fine. It was so fine. Thank God it wasn't ugly though. This would be would it be better though to watch ugly Sonic do all this stuff?
No.
Kind of though, it would be more interesting. Like
it'd be funnier.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if the Sonic didn't look like cute and basically fine, then this movie would have to live and die by its writing, and it cannot do that.
Yeah,
it would die.
Is anybody surprised there was no Gangster's Paradise in this? That means that was a thing specifically for the trailer. It's not Movie Sonic's favorite song or something. It's just a thing the trailer people thought was cool. That's something.
That happens all the time, though. It's like some companies like, oh, this song will be so good, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but they're usually right. The trailer people are usually the ones that know what they're doing, and it's the movie people that screw it up. That's how Suicide Squad worked.
I was about to say they did trick us.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they recut that movie. The trailer company recut that movie, and it didn't help.
Yeah, that's also true. Anything else about this movie?
I'm good.
Yeah, it was fine.
I would say watch it at home, I guess. If you're a huge Sonic fan, go see it. But outside of that, I don't really know who this movie's for.
If you got kids, they'll think it's funny. They'll have a good enough time. You won't want to kill yourself.
You get to watch Jim Carrey around.
Yeah,
that's fun.
True.
It's like a little childhood memories brought back. Your kids watch this, and then in your head, you're kind of reminded of all the old movies, and then you get to enjoy Ace Ventura, in your brain. So,
or maybe just watch Ace Ventura with your kids. Yeah, that might be a way to solve this problem.
Not sure that's appropriate, really.
Yeah, they wouldn't get the end probably.
Okay,
but still,
ending also hasn't aged super well.
No, it's.
I haven't seen it
product
forever,
of its
so
time. Not product of its time, but yeah, it's not great. But Yeah, I liked it though. I like that movie. It's one of my favorite. Like, I don't know, it's not my favorite Jim Carrey movie. I love Liar Liar. I think Liar Liar is perfect.
I love The Grinch.
I do too. That's one of my favorites. It's so weird. And it gives him so much space to be himself.
I think it drags in the middle.
That
The
middle's
Grinch
the
is
best
not
part.
particularly good, but it's very unique.
The middle's where he's like the king of Christmas.
Assuming one of us has a Game of Thrones, the other two, by next Christmas, we could do that as a nitpicking movie.
What does the verb Game of Thrones mean in this situation? Execute?
I don't know. Kill, usurp.
Oh, okay.
Throw into the. What did you guys think?
I thought it meant like in case in like it would be like if the Grinch sequel doesn't completely ruin all the goodwill created by the original Jim Carrey Grinch, then let's do it in the future. If the new Grinch that doesn't exist is so bad that
I meant internally with us,
I
like
see.
the three of us Game of Thronesing each other.
Plus, we already had a new Grinch with Frumious Bandersnatch where the Grinch fucks.
I know, I haven't seen it. Is it?
Both Grinches fuck Diggins. Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true.
No, the Jim Carrey Grinch is an incel.
Yeah, but everybody wants to fuck the Jim Carrey Grinch. He is the object of much affection from like the sexy who's like,
oh my
who
god,
doesn't want to be with Jeffrey Tambor. Anyway.
Okay.
All right. Do you guys want to get to our classic segment?
Where we talk about the Oscars. JK, folks, bamboozled again.
Got him. Oscars.
We will never talk about the Oscars.
Yes,
Look,
never.
just go see Parasite. They got it right. It's so good. That's it. I literally have nothing else to say.
Yeah, there were like a handful of movies for me that if they won Best Picture, they would have been fine. I would have been like, yeah, I could see 1917. Very, very good movie. Parasite. Very, very good movie. Others, I'm assuming. The only one I never saw was Little Women. But even like if Jojo Rabbit won Best Picture, I'd be like, yeah, that was a pretty great movie. Cool. But
So, anyway.
yeah.
Rex?
You go first usually, so do you have anything?
I do. So, okay. This is something I've wrecked before, but I think a long, long time ago, and I've been playing a lot of it, and I think it's like refreshed that I could wreck it again, and it's not too much of a repeat. So, it's Arkham Horror, the card game.
Okay.
And it's a legacy card game deck builder made by Fantasy Flight where there's like a bunch of campaigns. So there's a core set you buy, and then you buy like campaigns, and then you can kind of play a bunch of missions where you're doing some kind of investigation. They're all based on Lovecraftian stories and things of that nature. There's influence from like the old gods, like not Cthulhu, not really, but other ones. So if you're into mythos stuff or Lovecraftian stuff, I like it because it's a deck builder. So there's a lot of customization. It's a 1 or 2 player game. I play it with Michelle. So we have a lot of fun doing it. You could role play as the investigators. That's kind of fun to do. Or just kind of play it tactically. That's good too. And you could do different kind of builds where like you're like a beefy guy or you're more of like an intelligence guy. And there's a lot of customization. There's a lot of fun things you could do. If that's not your bag, there's a similar style game, but not campaign. They're just one-shots. It's called Marvel Champions.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the exact same... I haven't played it, but it's the exact same idea, but you're Marvel superheroes instead of Lovecraftian-style investigators. So if that's more your thing, it's still got that customization. It's a deck builder. It doesn't have that long commitment of a whole campaign. You're just kind of facing off against the Green Goblin or, you know, Dr. Octopus or whoever. They're not all Spider-Man villains. I just couldn't think of other ones.
MODOK.
MODOK.
Magneto. Thanos. Doctor
I think they just released like the Wrecking Crew.
The Wrecking
So there's
Crew.
like
Everyone loves
there's
them.
a core set with like 5 heroes. I can't remember all of them. I think it's like Miss Marvel, Black Panther, Iron Man, Captain Marvel. No, there's not both. Anyway, and 1 villain, and then you could buy additional heroes and villains. So you give Fantasy Flight all your money.
Finally, something like that.
Yeah, or I could just, DLC for days as part of my tabletop experience. So I love these style games. They're good deck builders. If they're your thing and you like story, you can probably find a theme for any of them. Like there's Lord of the Rings, there's Game of Thrones. I personally find Arkham Horror, the card game, to be the best of these, and I would super recommend it. Also, it's cooperative. That and Marvel Champions are cooperative. The other ones are competitive. So if you're looking for something that's competitive versus cooperative, your results may vary. So Arkham Horror, the card game, go check it out.
Cool. Diggins, you got anything fun?
I do. So last night I went to see an indie movie. that you might have some trouble finding, but if you can, it's probably on VOD. If not now, then soon. So you can do that if you can't find it playing in theaters anywhere. But it's a new movie starring Nicolas Cage called Color Out of Space.
Oh.
It's an adaptation of an H.P. Lovecraft story called
this one.
The Color Out of Space. Yes. Which is about a family in like rural New England who live on a farm, and a meteorite crashes on their farm one day, and inside it is this alien being that's like so it can only be perceived really as like a color, and it just kind of twists the land around it and like makes the family slowly go crazy. So it's this really fun like schlocky B movie style, like deliberately going for that uses a lot of like crazy practical effects and some like psychedelic horror. It feels very like a throwback to like schlocky 70s and 80s horror movies, and it's really fun. You get to see Nicolas Cage milk an alpaca and then drink the milk straight from the bucket, so that's something. And it's genuinely very effective use of Nicolas Cage, where you have him, where he gives the like more muted performance that he's capable of, but then as he goes crazy, he starts doing more of the Nicolas Cage hits that you know and love.
Nice.
And it's a really fun movie. You should go see it if you get a chance. It's called Color Out of Space. So yeah, just like it's one of those movies that's probably going to be on VOD not too long after it leaves theaters. So you should definitely, give it a rent if you can't find it.
Cool. I'm going to rec a show. We've talked about it a little bit, but I feel comfortable wrecking it, although I'm only halfway through. DJ, I think you brought it up before. It's The Circle.
Yes.
I am far enough in it that it's the best thing ever. Specifically, one guy named Joey, who is the best. One of my favorite, he's so fun to watch. There's so much to him. Every time you think you understand Joey, you get a little bit more of Joey, and then you're back at square one almost. He cooks Brussels sprouts. He likes to work out at the gym. I don't know what it is. There's a certain type of person that I feel very comfortable around. Maybe it's a New Jersey thing, but I grew up around a lot of those kind of Jersey guys, but I don't live near any of them anymore. So there were plenty of people I used to work with at my first job out of college who sounded just like him and spoke just like him. Hey, I'm cooking Brussels sprouts. Why are they giving me a question for 8-year-olds? And it's just really fun to watch this guy do his thing. There are other people on The Circle, too, and they're interesting. Some are more sufferable than others. There's one specifically who wears terrible pants, who is the least sufferable. And there's a lot of other, supporting characters who are fun. If for people that don't know, it's kind of like the real world, but it's more like gamified. So it's a little bit like kind of The Mole, where everybody's on their own. They're all in a nice little hotel room by themselves, but some of them aren't who they say they are. And even though there's nothing wrong with that, it's not like if they win, nobody gets the money. It's just kind of like none of them want any of the other ones to win. There's kind of this little secret hunt for who is and who isn't the bad one. Isn't that weird, though, DJ? Speaking of someone who's seen it?
Yeah, it is interesting how the catfishing thing plays into it, because they all know it's a possibility, but anyone can be a catfish at any given moment. I will say it makes for some interesting dynamics when some people interact with the catfishes in certain ways, and you see the person on the other end being like, "Oh boy, oh boy, oh
yes,
boy."
Specifically the one. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And that is so fun.
And it's funny. It's fun sometimes because sometimes they have dates, and the one catfish will be on a date with the other catfish, and it's just two people being like, "What should I say to make this date go?" And there's one person who is playing a guy who should be able to talk to women, and this guy cannot talk to women. And it's so funny.
Adam Alex is the worst.
I hate him. He's the one that I was talking about
person.
with the pants. He's insufferable.
He sucks.
If he listens,
so
maybe he's cool. He likes cats. I don't know. But yes, no, he is. He says some weird things. I would say it's weird, and maybe we'll talk about this more in the future. Give people some time to see it, but it's so weird how they treat every single time someone's like, "Oh, I was catfished." Specifically, this one person that's catfishing, and this person's basically like, "Well, I'm not a hot chick." But otherwise, everything I've said is just pretty much who I am. And then they're like, they treat it like, oh, we got one. We got a catfish. It's like, I guess, but it didn't matter. That person was still just some person. It doesn't matter if they look the way you think they look. Only if you're dumb enough to flirt with them, then it doesn't matter. None of them are like super geniuses playing everybody against each other. They're just all saying hi and being nice. I love this show. So everyone go watch The Circle. It's on Netflix. It's pretty funny. And Joey is the best one. If anybody knows him, and I'm only 7 out of 12 episodes, so I'm not done. But if anybody knows Joey, let him know to listen to this podcast because we're big fans.
You'll know after the first episode whether or not it's for you.
Yes.
Because it'll hook you after one. You only need one to find out. And if you don't like it, totally fine.
Well, I will say a lot of the people grow on you, and that's what I think kept me with it.
Yeah. But I feel like it only takes one for like a couple to like glom onto you, and that'll get you through like 2 and 3, and then you're totally in. Yeah. But I feel like if you can't be on Team Joey by episode like 1, maybe 1.5, I don't know if you're gonna get there.
And same with
Joey is very likable very early.
And Shuby. I think between Joey and Shuby are kind of like, all right, one of these is like, you're like, oh, okay, you put it in like nice little audience surrogate, and then by the time things kind of mature, then you've usually gone to Team Joey.
Chris is another one. Chris could be someone that you like get behind.
Yeah, Chris is fun.
And then,
and Sammy's not terrible. She's a little rough in the beginning, I remember, but I'm not positive. Anyway, watch the show. It's great. It's called The Circle. Get wrecked. Or whatever we say.
Next week?
Next week. Okay, so
I didn't think we did that.
No,
anymore.
we don't. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put up a poll. So 2 weeks is Invisible Man. We're going to put up a poll right now. So hearing about it, you cannot vote on it. It will be done by the time this is released, but still worth saying. The poll will be one of 3 movies leading up to Invisible Man. Will it be League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the most recent movie with a character that is explicitly the Invisible Man? Will it be Hollow Man, another really weird 2000s, like, what if Invisible Man, but bad movie? Or will it be The Mummy with Tom Cruise, the one that's, like, this is kind of in the dark universe. It's like all the rest of these.
Dark universe.
Where it's in the dark. This will start the dark universe if this movie does well, universe. And if not, they'll just ignore it and try again. So, The Mummy would be worth talking about because it is part of the dark universe.
Dark universe.
As is the Invisible Man, maybe. So we will put that poll up. It's going to be 24 hours, and you'll know by the time this goes up what we're talking about, like which one we're going to do.
And whatever wins, we lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think out of all of them, I haven't seen The Mummy yet, but I enjoyed League of Extraordinary Gentlemen when it came out, and I think I'd enjoy it again now, like in a slightly different way. Hollow Man is awful. I hate that movie. It is so just upsetting. And we'll see about Mummy. I'm sure it's bad in its own little way.
I've never seen any of those movies, and I'm not looking forward to watching one of them.
I think you could watch LXG and have a good time. If you treat it like a 2000s X-Men kind of thing, where it's like, what if all the guys from books were superheroes? It's kind of fun.
The thing it desperately wanted to be.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a product of that time when they were kind of figuring out what a superhero movie was and kind of trying to mold properties they kind of owned. It's funny that they got to this one, but I think it was like this and Van Helsing came out around the same time. I don't know which one was first.
Oh God. Van Helsing is a movie I've seen, and oh boy.
I enjoy Van Helsing too. I think there's a lot of fun stuff in there. But anyway, we'll talk about that. Speaking of video game tie-ins, we will talk about one of those 3 movies next week, and in a couple of days on our Twitter, you will know which one that is. Anybody have anything to plug?
I do not.
All right.
Nothing this week.
Yeah, same. Oh wait, no, that's not true. I'll have a Birds of Prey video coming out, but besides that, nothing exciting. Yeah. So
oh, you know
what?
Sorry, at the length of making this way too long.
Yes, this would be the straw that broke the camel's back.
I will give a plug for Michelle's Bachelor recaps. If you're following The Bachelor right now, there's some pretty good recaps she's doing for thepopbreak.com. This season, I think, is going to end pretty crazy. There's some pretty insane rumors out there.
Oh, so, like rumors about how it has already ended?
Well, yeah, because there are spoilers out there, but you could avoid the spoilers. But spoilers and rumors sometimes collide.
Yeah.
So, fantasy suites next week.
Nice. That's where they all
That's
bang.
where the Bachelor gets to fuck. Yep.
Yeah.
There's
Damn.
one girl he definitely just picked so he could take her to fantasy suites. And he's going to drop it like it's hot.
Good for him, man. Is he also a virgin or a pilot or virgin
No,
pilot?
he's
or
a pilot.
something?
He's a pilot. This
How do
guy's
we
a
know
pilot.
he's not a virgin, though?
Because he was in the previous season of The Bachelorette, and his whole thing was he had sex in a windmill 4 times with The Bachelorette during fantasy suites. That was like his whole thing. He's windmill guy.
Oh,
Wait,
God.
hold on.
Yeah.
Like, he was open afterwards, like, yo, I fucked her 4 times.
Oh, no. The Bachelorette was like, he fucked me 4 times.
In a windmill.
Yeah, because that's where their fantasy suite
Wow,
was. It
that's-
was a windmill.
Oh, God.
So-
Okay,
yeah.
well,
I hope everyone enjoyed this Sonic the Hedgehog podcast.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed listening to it with your child, because it's a children's movie.
All right. So next week.
Really need that explicit tag on this one.
Yeah, maybe we do. Next week, one of those movies. Until then, I am at Nando V Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Sippy by Day.
I'm at This Is an Odd Name.
Oh, yeah, because... okay.
Yeah,
all right,
that's
we're done
right.
here.
Someone said that they misheard me every time, so I'm
Thought
being
it
very
was,
deliberate.
This is not name or something, right?
This is, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. You should get that one too and just redirect it to your real Twitter account. Never know.
It's probably taken.
It will be now. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. We love you.